pulse of a continent, where Africa's fiercest women warriors clash for glory in the Women's Africa Cup of Nations 2024. Africa's top teams, one crown. Morocco hosts once more, ready to etch new legends into history. Rising stars, one stage to shine.
And it is the Copper Queen. They have been waiting for this moment. Here's a chance for a second. South African lead by 2-0 in this final, and he'll never higher.
This is more than football, it's African excellence. It's women's power. Don't miss WAFCON 2024. Live from Morocco.
Wakenya wenzangu, this August, something big is happening. CHAN 2024 is here, and Harambee Stars are ready to shine. Let us come together and support our boys as they fight for glory. From the first whistle to the last goal, let us cheer loud and proud. Tune in to KBC Channel 1 and let's cheer our boys. Because when Harambee Stars win, Kenya wins. Twende kazi, Team Kenya, all the way.
Good afternoon to you and welcome to the National Assembly live proceedings. This being an afternoon session of the House, this afternoon of the 23rd day of July, the year being 2025. In the highlights in the order of business this afternoon, the House will be considering a motion on the consideration of the fifth report of the financial statements for the NGCDF accounts for 6 constituencies in Busia County. This is a motion by the chairperson at the Decentralized Funds Accounts Committee, who is seeking to have the National Assembly adopt the fifth report of the Decentralized Funds Accounts Committee on its consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the National Government Constituencies Development Fund for six constituencies in Busia County, namely Teso South, Matayos, Nambale, Funyula, Teso North, and Butula constituencies. The committee laid its report on the 10th day of April, the year being 2025. The National Assembly will this afternoon be resuming debate on the Kenya Institute of Primate Research Bill. This is National Assembly Bills number 52 of the year 2024 by the chairperson, Departmental Committee on Health. The consideration of the Senate amendments to the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, Bill number 24 of the year 2023 by the leader of the majority party is lined up for consideration this afternoon. In the motion, the leader of the majority party is seeking to have the National Assembly note the Senate amendments to the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, Bill number 24 of the year 2025, that is scheduled for consideration at the National Assembly. After that, the Committee of the National Assembly will be converting itself into a committee, popularly known as the Committee of the Whole, where the House will be considering the Senate amendments to the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, this being Bill number 24 of the year 2025. It is a Wednesday afternoon, a day when the National Assembly usually hears from cabinet secretaries appearing before the National Assembly plenary to answer questions that have been directed to various cabinet secretaries from members of parliament. This afternoon, we'll be expecting the cabinet secretary for roads and transport will be responding to a number of questions raised by members of the National Assembly or by a section of members of the National Assembly. The member for Vihiga County, Honorable Beatrice Adagala, will be asking the Cabinet Secretary for Roads and Transport to provide a status of the construction of Shamahoho Gitambai Road and the steps that are being taken to ensure its completion. Honorable Adagala also wants the CS for Roads, that is Davis Churchill, to clarify whether the contractor responsible for the road project received full payment and whether the due process was followed in the payment process. She also wants to understand whether there are measures that the ministry has taken to address structural defects such as cracks and sliding of grounds along the road, particularly around Gisigiwa, and finally the provision of timelines for the construction of the said road. Honorable Member for Ruiru, Honorable Simon Kingara, will also be asking the Cabinet Secretary for Roads and Transport to explain why the new generation of smart driving license do not indicate the date when the holder first obtained it. The other question is the consideration of integrating the original date of license insurance or the license issuance into the smart driving license, particularly for individuals upgrading from the older versions to support Kenyan drivers abroad who rely on this information to verify their driving experience. On your screens, you can see members of the National Assembly are already upstanding, an indication that the Speaker's procession is making its way into the chambers this afternoon. Already, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Dr. Moses Wetangula, is already in the chambers this afternoon, ready to preside over the business of the National Assembly. So kindly allow me to hand over for this live broadcast, brought to you by the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation in partnership with the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit. Enjoy your viewing.
Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu, ambaye kwa hekima na wema wako umeteua nyadhifa za viongozi na mabunge kwa ustawi wa jamii na utawala wa haki wanadamu. Tukusihi utazame kwa neema nyingi sisi watumishi wako ambao wameridhika kutuita tutekeleze shughuli muhimu za jamhuri yetu. Tukuomba uteremshie baraka zako sisi tulikutanika hapa na utujalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote yatakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili utukufu na sifa zako ziendelezwe na ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Sergeant, ring the quorum bell.
The National Assembly has officially commenced its business this afternoon, and upon the commencement of business, we have the quorum bell ringing, following the directives by the Speaker to ring the quorum bell as provided for in the House Standing Orders number 34 on matters quorum upon the commencement of business. At this particular juncture, the House lacks quorum to continue with the consideration of the business before it, and the quorum bell directive is a leeway for members of the National Assembly who could still be having a break. Remember, the House breaks at 1 p.m. from the morning sitting and resumes at 2:30. So those yet to make their way into the chamber, that a bell is supposed to sort of remind them that the time for the afternoon sitting is already here with the House. As we await for the quorum to be attained at the National Assembly, the member for Kinango, Honorable Ngozi Rai, will be asking the Cabinet Secretary for Transport to state the current condition of the Kinango Mariakani Road C107 and the impact of the recent rains on its deterioration, particularly the drift connecting the road. The CS for Transport will also be required to explain the immediate measures the government is taking to prevent further deterioration of the road and restore its usability for motorists. The other requirement for the Cabinet Secretary this afternoon is that the CS for Transport is required to outline both short-term and long-term interventions, including any interventions that have been placed to do with matters with collaborations with other agencies to provide for a lasting solution.
A prayer is a very solemn moment, whether in Parliament or in your bedroom or in your car or in your church or in your mosque. To some of us, we take prayer very serious because it's the single moment you are in communication with your God. Please don't do that again. Please don't do that again. You are guilty by association. Okay, let's have, before we start, honorable members, and that is not only for Honorable Morgara and Mutuza, it's for all of us. We all believe in God. Our constitution started by saying, we respect God of all creation. And that's what we do. And we only take 2 minutes to place ourselves before God before we start our business. You can fight thereafter, it doesn't matter. But we must start by supplicating and surrendering our will to God. Murugara? Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. On behalf of these three members of Parliament and Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, we profusely apologize that we had some loud consultations as the prayer was going on. It's just an issue that had come in regarding our committee. I don't know why we couldn't withhold ourselves. We apologize for that.
Thank you.
So I is human. So we are human beings and we are subject to Ari. Thank you.
I believe that in the face of God, everything can wait. Yes, sir. Go on.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader. Because you are the agent of necessity.
Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the Majority Leader, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025, afternoon sitting. 1. Legal notice number 91 of 2025 relating to the county licensing, uniform procedures, regulations 2025, and the explanatory memorandum from the Ministry of Investments, Trade and Industry. 2. Reports of the Auditor General and financial statements of the Institute for the years ended 30th June 2018, 30th June 2019, 30th June 2020, 30th June 2021, 30th June 2022, 30th June 2023, and 30th June 2024, and the certificates therein. 3. Report of the Auditor General and financial statement of the Total Technical and Vocational College for the year ended 30th June 2021 and the certificate therein. 4. Reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2023 and certificates therein in respect of 1. Borabu Technical Training Institute, 2. Emurwa Tigir Technical Training Institute, and 3. Kitutu Masaba Technical and Vocational College. 5. Reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the years ended 30th June 2023 and 30th June 2024 and certificates therein in respect of 1. Emining Technical Training Institute, 2. Karen Training Institute for the Deaf, and 3. Lunga Lunga Technical and Vocational College. 6. Reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the years ended 30th June 2024 and certificates therein in respect of 1. Kiambu High School, 2. Loreto Kiambu Girls High School, 3. Moi Girls School, Nairobi, 4. Muranga High School, 5. Our Lady Consolata Mugoiri Girls High School, 6. St. Anne Secondary School, Lioki, 7. St. Barbara Tala Girls High School, 8. St. Josephine Pakita Masinga Girls High School, and 9. Thika High School. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Honorable members, can I confirm from majority leadership if the Minister for Roads is coming? I'm told he's already here. So members with questions to the Minister for Roads, be ready, we'll get to that. Let's deal with the statements. Gonzirai. Before that, Gonzirai, hold your horses. Allow me to acknowledge in the speakers gallery Koibeyon Secondary School from Bomet, East Bomet. Ngumari Secondary School from South Imenti, Meru. In the public gallery, we have Emambarashai School from Kajiado, East Kajiado. Mutira Primary School from Kirinyaga, Central Kirinyaga. Elster Mixed Secondary School from Dagoretti North, Nairobi. And Kids Palace Shalom from Dagoretti South, Nairobi. I have been requested by the member for Dagoretti North to welcome the students from her constituency. She can do it on behalf of all of us.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me to welcome all the students to the August House and to appreciate that today we have a Wednesday sitting, and to tell them that in this house, each one of us has a story. But that story has ensured that we've worked hard to arrive to where we are. I want to thank Alistair. I know we have fantastic stars there who want to be journalists, and I could see their videos. But also to tell all of you that in anything we do, the first thing we appreciate is respect. And when you earn respect, people will respect you. And so we have very simple values that all of us learned in school. One of the values was to say sorry. The other value was to say thank you. The other value was to appreciate even our parents. So I want you, as you continue with your education, always appreciate your teachers and parents. They are their first call to ensure in life you will be who you want to be. And anything is possible for you in life. If you decide to be the President of the Republic of Kenya, it is possible. It is for you to decide. If you want to also fail in life, it will happen. It is up to you. So as my students and my children, today I want to wish you well and to thank all your teachers and to pray that those who are in Form 4, we wish you well. We want you to pass. We want you to come to campus. We want you one day to come and serve Kenyans the way we are serving. God bless you, and I wish you well as you go back. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. You're gone half a minute. I thought I had asked Elijah to speak for all of you, but take half a minute.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for also giving me this opportunity. And I would also like to take this chance to welcome all the students into this August house. The students from KBC Secondary School, you are most welcome. And as been said by my colleague, Honorable Elijah, that wish you well in life. And I would like to say that to all the students, let this be a learning process for you, and know that the sky is the limit. You might find yourself in the near future in this August house, and even in other high offices of this country. I want to say you are most welcome, and welcome once more again. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Dagoretti South, KJ, half a minute.
Mr. Speaker, I take this opportunity to welcome all the learners from all the schools who are here, and in a special way also welcome Kids Palace from the Dagoretti South constituency. And Mr. Speaker, I have one word for these learners. It is to tell them that by the time you get to be of age to come to Parliament, the world will have changed drastically. One of the things that is going to change the world is technology. The computers are learning at a pace that humans are not learning at. So you must find that one thing that you will be better at than the computers. The computers will compute, so you have to take the time you have in school to understand that you need to become more human as computers become more computers. How do you do that? Don't come out of school before you have mastered critical thinking. Get yourself to know logic and problem solving. Get some emotional intelligence and empathy, and be patriotic. Those 4 soft issues are the things that computers will never beat you at, because the only thing computers will never beat you at is being human. But if you do not become human, know that the computers will computerize you more than the way you shall humanize the computers. Welcome to the August House. This is where the decisions are made in this country, and we exist for the welfare of society and the just government of the people. That is to solve all the problems that pertains to our people. Thank you very much.
Thank
you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I request for a statement regarding the disappearance of Mr. Charo Mai Karisa. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44 into brackets 2 into bracket C, I rise to seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the disappearance of Mr. Charo Mae Karisa. Honorable Speaker, Mr. Charo Mae Karisa of ID number 2308474 is a resident of Samburu Kibaoni, area in Kinango constituency, Kwale County, and worked as a mechanic in Malindi, Kilifi County. On 16th of July 2024, as he was traveling from Mombasa to Malindi, he was abducted by unknown individuals alleged attached to the National Intelligence Service. It is also alleged that the abduction of Mr. Charo Karisa Mae may be linked to a case in which he was implicated in the killing of a security officer at his place of work. Efforts by the family of Mr. Karisa Mae to establish his whereabouts have been futile. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following: a report on the investigations into the disappearance of Mr. Charo Mae Karisa, including any indication of whether any security agents are holding him, and B, the steps taken by the Ministry of Interior and National Administration to prevent enforced disappearances and guarantee the rights of arrested persons as invest under Article 50 of the Constitution. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chair, Administration and Security. Tongoyo, when can you bring a response?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. We're able to give the response in 2 weeks.
No.
Honorable Speaker.
A Kenyan has disappeared without a trace.
At least most obliged, Honorable Speaker.
Information.
Okay, most obliged, Honorable Speaker. But Honorable Speaker, yes. I just want to, you are indulgent. The Honorable members alluded that forced disappearance. And I think we should be more responsible enough not to make conclusion before even investigation or a response is even issued.
Your answer will reverse the allegation.
Okay.
Yes.
Most guided.
Yes. So you can bring a response next Wednesday afternoon. Honorable members, as Honorable members, as you are aware, in the last 1 week, we've lost 2 former members of this House, the Honorable Phoebe Asio and the Honorable Catherine Mora Nyamato. The members of the constituencies where the late colleagues hail from, Honorable Okwome and Honorable Steve Mogaka, have requested for an opportunity to make statements pursuant to those dates. So I'll give them to make the statements. Thereafter, I'll give the House 10 minutes. Yes, Honorable Otienda Mola.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to bring to your attention, and I brought to the attention of the clerk, that there's also a former member who actually served with you, the first member of Parliament of Rarieda, who also died last week, the Honorable Bob Jalango Nyanduga.
Bob Jalango died?
Yes. He died.
I wasn't aware.
4 days ago.
Yes.
And so I was requesting that as you give the other members, you also do include him in that list. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So you start.
Very well.
2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we lost the Honorable Bob Jalango Nyanduga, who was the first member of Parliament of Rarieda. Bob Jalango Nyanduga served for 1 term, but after that one term. And I'm not speaking of any other term. I'm speaking of the term of the Honorable Bob Jalango Nyanduga. But Mr. Speaker, as has become of many members who served for only one term, he was not well endowed and he actually suffered. And it is actually a case for why we as members of parliament should actually invest in what we started the other time in terms of, post-service endowment. The Honorable Bob Jalango Nyanduga hailed from Rarieda in a place called Asembo. He was also the brother of another member who served here, the Honorable Grace Ogot. In his time, he laid the foundation that subsequent members then continued. Because after him, the Honorable Achieng' Oneko also served. After that, who also passed. After that, the Honorable Den Ngure, who also passed. After that, the Honorable Raphael Tuju, who is alive. And after that, the Honorable Nicholas Gumbo, who is alive. And then yours truly has taken over. And I do not intend to leave that seat anytime soon. So this should also serve as a notice for those who think that they want to come to this August House, that Otiende Molo is not leaving anytime soon. Mr. Speaker, we need to honor these members because to serve as a member of parliament is a sacrifice that most people don't understand. You sacrifice your family, you sacrifice your money, you sacrifice the pleasures of life to serve your people. And the only thing we can do to those fallen members who are now deserted is at least to acknowledge them and honor them. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mogaka Steve.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to make a statement on the first woman from Gusii community to ever step in this parliament. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 259D2B, I rise to pay tribute to the former nominated Member of Parliament, the late Honorable Catherine Muraya Nyamato, better known as Ekerebi, who passed away on the 16th of July, the year of the Lord 2025. Mr. Speaker, the late Honorable Catherine Muraya Nyamato, who was born on the 28th of February 1949, joined politics in 1997 as a nominated member through the then ruling party, KANU, Baba na Mama, and where she served diligently until 2002. During her tenure in Parliament, she was a fearless advocate for gender equality, civic education, and women's rights champion. She also campaigned relentlessly against early marriages, female FGM, and low literacy among the girls. The late Honorable Catherine Nyamato continued to advance women's rights beyond politics as the Secretary General of the League of Kenya Women's Voters Caucus, where she was instrumental in the establishment of civic forums for women's political participation. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Catherine Nyamato was born at Nyabite Market, where I was also born, and she is my cousin, as well as cousin to the most flamboyant Member of Parliament from West Mogrango, the late Honorable George Justus Morara, who died in a suspicious road accident. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Nyamato's contribution to the nation will forever be cherished. On my own behalf and the people of West Mogrango constituency, I wish to take this opportunity to condole with her family, relatives, friends, and the people of Kenya at large for losing such a dedicated woman leader. May her soul rest in eternal peace. And thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me an opportunity to give this tribute to this gallant woman leader. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Kwame Okwame.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to make a statement on the demise of the late former Member of Parliament for Karachuonyo, Honorable Phoebe Moga Athio. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 259 2 and B, I rise to pay tribute to the former Member of Parliament for Karachuonyo, the late Phoebe Moga Athio, who passed away on 17th July 2025. Honorable Speaker, the late Honorable Phoebe Moga Athio, who was born on 12th September 1932, began her career as a teacher after completing her studies. She then became the first female senior superintendent of prisons in 1963, where she spearheaded various rehabilitation programs. The late Honorable Athio, her passionate advocacy for women's rights enabled her to rise through the ranks and become the first African woman to chair the Maendeleo ya Wanawake organization in 1958. Mama Athio was a pioneer and trailblazer who, being the first senior superintendent of Kenya prisons, the first woman elder among the Luo elders, the first Goodwill Ambassador for United Nations Development Fund for Women, and Commissioner in the Constitution of Kenya Review Commission. She received honorary doctorates from Lehi and York University, and the government of Kenya recognized her with an Order of the Grand Warrior, that is OGW. Honorable Speaker, the late Honorable Athio later ventured into politics in 1979 when she vied for and was elected as the Member of Parliament for Karachuonyo constituency and served until 1983. She served her second term of Parliament from 1992 to 1997. The late Honorable Athio was instrumental in pushing for gender reforms, including affirmative action that sought to address domestic violence, widow disinheritance, electoral violence against women, child marriage, and female genital mutilation. In 1997, she introduced a motion on affirmative action, which was prompted by the exclusion of women from Kenya politics. She is hailed for being the originator of the two-gender principle that was later anchored in the 2010 Constitution. Honorable Speaker, her contribution to the women and the nation at large will forever be cherished. I wish to take this opportunity on my own behalf and on behalf of my constituents to condole with the family of the late Honorable Athio, her family, relatives, friends, and the people of Kenya at large. May her soul rest in eternal peace. Honorable Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Okwame. Honorable members, I'll give 10 minutes to this, and whoever I give 1 minute. Mother Wangari.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity, and I also join honorable members in eulogizing these great members, former members of this House, and specifically Honorable Catherine Nyamato and Honorable Phoebe Asio, who have been trailblazers in the fight for women in this House. In fact, Mr. Speaker, were it not for these successes, some of us would not be here as the beneficiaries of affirmative action and people who have set the pace. And coming from the area where Honorable Catherine Nyamato came from. In fact, I think she's the only woman, apart from the affirmative action seats, to ever sit in this House. This area, Mr. Speaker, doesn't really elect women in this House, so I think she started a good fight. But Mr. Speaker, specifically Honorable Phoebe Asio, she is a trailblazer, Mr. Speaker. She was a UNIFEM ambassador. She was, Mr. Speaker, actually elevated to be an elder in the Luo community because of the work she had done, Mr. Speaker. But more importantly, she was the original chair of Maendeleo ya Wanawake that has really fought and set the pace in the country. And Mr. Speaker, it is sad that we have lost her, but the benefits will be seen from now going forward, and we hope.
Thank you. Mawade. There is also a man on the list, Bob Jalango.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also want to join other members in eulogizing these heroines that served in this House, and especially a person that I knew very well. I met her, Honorable Phoebe Asio. Under the leadership of Honorable Joe Akech, we, the football team of Umeme FC, went to play in Kindube when Honorable Phoebe Asio was campaigning for a second term. She was a strong leader. We would adore her, watching her on TV, and the many positive things she brought and continued to fight. Every time she would speak, she would always talk about the need to have additional or many female leaders.
Meli Odhiambo. Okay. You have 1 minute and it's ticking.
Can I have 2 minutes, please? 2.
1.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, even though you are only giving me 1 minute, because in this House, I think the person who knows the first 2 members very well is myself.
Not more than me.
I know more than you. Mr. Speaker, I knew Phoebe Asio. That's why I was saying 1 minute is too short for me. I've known Phoebe Asio since I was 11 years old. She persuaded me to join politics through her own life when I watched her when she was actually going through campaigns, and she won by a landslide. But Mr. Speaker, because of a short time I've been given, she is actually like a second mother to me. Honorable Nyamato is a very good friend to me. I have even visited them at their rural homes, slept in their homes. So there are people who are very, very well known to me. And Mr. Speaker, I just want to say that Honorable Phoebe Asio is the reason that we have most of the women here, especially on the issue of affirmative action.
Yes, Osoro. Avoid any preliminaries.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. With, of course, the pressure to speak, within 1 minute, I also want to join my colleagues in condoling with the families of the Honorable Phoebe Asio and the Honorable Catherine Nyamato. Honorable Speaker, Nyamato remained a pillar in the Gusii community. As a pioneer female member of parliament in this House, Honorable Speaker, she remained to be a role model to the girl child, traversing across the entire Gusii region, Honorable Speaker, motivating ladies to try elective seats or leadership skills, Honorable Speaker. So Gusii nation has lost a very strong woman, and may her soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Bensouda, 1 minute.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to eulogize with the family of Honorable the late Mama Phoebe Asio Muga. on behalf of Homa Bay County. She is my mother, and so I come from Karachuonyo constituency where I'm married. I would want to register in this house that the late Honorable Mama Phoebe Moga told me that it was time to resign as the CEC for roads in Kisumu County and come back home and work. Honorable Speaker, she directed me to be mentored by Honorable Whip Millie Odhiambo. Millie Odhiambo had to travel from Nairobi to come and meet me, to sit me down for 3 hours. Honorable Speaker, Mama Phoebe Asio is a trailblazer. She is a woman of action. She has tactful strategies of politics. She knows the power of the wooden stake, and she knows the...
Sabina Chege. I can say how Millie taught you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to join my colleagues in giving the condolences to the families of departed honorable members. Mr. Speaker, I had met Honorable Phoebe Asio, and I want to join the other ladies to say she set the pace for us. I want to say, Honorable Speaker, the honors is on us who are now the women members of Parliament to make sure, as Honorable Millie had to travel all the way to Homa Bay to mentor a lady, that the honors are on us now. Those ladies have done their work. It is upon us to make sure that we inspire, and we also mentor as many many of them as possible, so that they follow the steps. One day we'll be gone, and we'll also need more ladies. I look forward for a day where the men will look for it and not the women. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, we give to... I'll give to Julius Olesunguli.
Mr. Speaker, I wish to also join in condoling upon the death of Honorable Phoebe Asio and Honorable Catherine Nyamato and also Bobob Jalango. The first two were well known to me. They were members of my party, KANU. They were nurtured by the party, and they were part of the history of both KANU and Kenya. In particular, the Honorable Phoebe Asio was a model for many of the people in Kenya who wanted to aspire to ethical leadership. She was a strong debater in this house, and I still recall how she used to do it from that side of the government. Honorable Nyamato was equally a member of our party. She was, we were together, we served together in Parliament, and I wish her a good rest.
Omongina.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity so that I can also condole with the departed. Honorable Speaker, I come from Nyamira, where Honorable Nyamato was born, where she was married. And Honorable Speaker, I want to tell the world that Honorable Nyamato was like a Dorica of the Bible. When she died, most of the women that she had mentored, they came carrying whatever that Nyamato had given. And I want to tell this house that we have lost a woman that we will never get in Kisiland. And you know, from Kisi, it is very hard for women to be elected. But when she came to this house, she showed the world that the women of Kisi can work. The women of Kisi can fight. And she was fighting for the girl child. And
Zamzam.
Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kutoa rambirambi zangu kwa familia ya mwenda zake Phyllis Asio. Alikuwa ni mama ambaye alitupa sisi kina mama wote Kenya nzima nguvu ya kuweza kusonga mbele kama kina mama. Na leo tuko katika bunge hili, leo tunajivunia kwa sababu ya yale matunda ambayo Mama Phoebe aliweza kuyapanda, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo mimi natoa pole zangu kwa familia, na Mwenyezi Mungu aweze kumuhifadhi na wema, na anapokwenda ajue zile mbegu alizopanda bado ziko katika Wakenya na mioyo ya kina mama wa taifa hili. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for the opportunity to pass my condolences on behalf of myself, the people of Seme, my family, for the 3 members. But I think as a house, we have to think the number of deaths that we are experiencing. I was able to meet Honorable Nyamato, and I was actually a pediatrician in Kisii, and I knew her commitment to public service. Bob Jalango was when he started circles. For Honorable Phoebe Asio, what I remember most about her is the issue of the girl child and the gender issues. I think her leadership in the girl child has been so successful that asking, what about the boy child? And we have to actually look at the boy child in remembrance of Asio. No.
Members will end here. We'll end here. Jen Kiara.
Thank you very much for this minute. Mr. Speaker, I know these two women. I wish to eulogize with their families. I was with Phoebe Asio in Maendeleo Wanawake. She's a trailblazer. When Maendeleo Wanawake was really working and helping women, I have met her this year. I was with Honorable Nyamato in Kenya. She was the women leader. At some stage, I thought she was going to get that seat because she really worked hard. So the two of them, I worked with them. I knew all of them. Honorable Phoebe Asio was in our many forums as a mentor, as a guest speaker, women forums. She had done a lot of work for the women of this country, and we ask God to rest them in his peace in heaven. God bless you.
I want to close here, you good ladies. I know some of you didn't even know the women who were eulogizing. Chair Kewopa.
Thank you very much, Mr.
After you will close with Rueda.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, Rueda, and then the lady from Nyamira.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I also rise to eulogize the fallen heroes and also Phoebe Asio, who actually laid the foundation for the 2/3 gender rule, which actually remains central in our ongoing pursuit. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of KEWOPA, all the women of Kenya, I want to pass our sincere condolences to the family, and we pray that may their souls rest in peace. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Rueda.
Asante, Bwana Speaker. Nami nichukue nafasi hii kwa niaba yangu mimi, familia yangu na watu wangu wa Lamu Mashariki, tutoe rambirambi zetu kwa mashujaa wetu wa kike. Zaidi nitoe rambirambi kwa Phoebe Asio, tutamkumbuka kwa maendeleo ya wanawake. Tunamjua alikuwa ni yuko mbele kwa haki za binadamu, zaidi kwa haki za kina mama. Na matokeo yake yameonekana. Sisi kina mama tutamkumbuka tena, kina mama hata mashinani wanamkumbuka kwa maendeleo ya wanawake. Ilishika sana na hata saulika kwa hayo, na kama sisi wengine tulipopata affirmative kuingia hapa kama women rep, ni juhudi zake na zitazaa matunda. Hata kama yeye atakuwa uko mbele za Mwenyezi Mungu, sisi huku inshallah tutaendeleza yale alikuwa mazuri akiyafanya. Asante, Bwana Speaker.
Mayaka.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to give my tribute to the three honorable members, Catherine Nyamato, Phoebe Asio, and Bob Jalango. But Honorable Speaker, more specifically for Catherine Nyamato, I'd just like to salute her because Catherine was the first woman nominated from Bogichora ward in West Mogirango. I am the second one from the same ward and the same constituency. But other than that, Catherine was a mentor to most of us. She gave us a lot of wisdom, and she also guided us in our political journey. And also to the Honorable Phoebe Asio, who was a trailblazer and who also really helped and held the hand of so many women. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, to those amazing women, and for their sake, we will ensure that we continue with this fantastic job that they've given us. May their souls rest in peace. I thank you.
Thank you. On Osero, you are the very last.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for being the very last. For the avoidance of doubt, Mr. Speaker, I would like to inform the House that after Catherine Nyamato's nomination as a woman, the second woman is only one Rene who is seated here. And I would like to inform the House that the burial will be conducted in Borabu on the 8th. That is my constituency. She was born and raised in Honorable Steve Mogaka's constituency, but she has been living in Borabu, and that is where she'll be interred. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, honorable members. Yours truly here served with all the 3 deceased members. Nobody mentioned that the late Phoebe Asio, nobody mentioned that the late Phoebe Asio shook the country by defeating the dreaded Okiki Amayo at the time she stood to come to this parliament. Order, Millie. I gave you time. You had too many preliminaries and you couldn't make your point. Honorable members, I'll now ask all of us, including the students in the gallery, to be upstanding to observe a minute's silence in honor of our 3 departed colleagues, Bob Chalango, Phoebe Asio Muga, and Catherine Mora Nyamato. May their souls rest in eternal peace. Amen. Unfortunately, Millie, they are all from Nyanza. You may wish to know that when the terrorists hit Garissa University, I buried 9 students from my count of Bungoma in one day. So the French say, c'est la vie. Honorable members, we'll now go to order number 7, questions. Majority Leader, Minister is in the House. We'll now start with the questions. The questioner, 1 supplementary, 2 joyriders. Beatrice Adagala. Minister, answers must be concise and precise so that we can save on time. But before Adagala, you ask your question, let's just acknowledge the presence of students in the House. In the Speaker's Gallery, St. Faustin Kerogo from Kirinyaga County, Kirinyaga. Ya Girls High School from Central, they don't indicate the Public Gallery. We have St. Peter's Girls from Molo, Nakuru. New Kihumbuini Junior School from Westlands, Nairobi. MCK Kibuka Primary from Tharaka Nithi. And Golden Garden School from Juja in Kiambu. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House. Adagala.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I want to ask question number 013/2025. Could the Cabinet Secretary provide the status of construction of Shamahoho, Gisambai Road, and the steps being taken to ensure its completion? 2, clarify whether the contractor responsible for the road project received full payment and whether due process was followed in the payment process. 3, outline the measures taken by the ministry to address structural defects such as cracks, sliding grounds along the road, particularly around Kisigwa area. Lastly, provide the timelines for construction of the said road. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, members of this Honorable House. Good afternoon. Let me very quickly respond to Mheshimiwa's question regarding this Kisambai Hamisi Senende Shamagoko Road junction project, which I wish to state that it is currently 95.4% complete with 13.7 kilometers of the project road upgraded to pavement standard to date. The bridge along the road spanning 12 meters is also complete, Honorable Speaker, with backfilling in place. I wish to confirm that works have fully resumed and are ongoing at the project following the recent 40% payment of the amounts previously owed to the contractors in what has for a long time been known as bending bills in the road sector. And this has enabled the full resumptions of work. Let me state that the contractor has to date been paid a total of 698,388,457 of the total 827,470,454 certified for payment. This constitutes 8.9% payment, the most recent being the 40%, which is 105,440,875, paid as part of the recent settlement of the pending bills in April 2025. So we still owe this contractor some money. There was a pending bill of about 262 million. The ministry would like to assure the House that all payments for roads works at the project have been done procedurally as per the provisions of the contract and in keeping with the requirements of the law. On the third concern, we are aware, Mheshimiwa, Honorable House, that some section of the road between kilometer 5 plus 300 meters and 420 meters in Kisigiwa experienced a slight landslide on a section of the drains due to heavy downpour in the region. Consequently, the contractor has been instructed to undertake necessary remedial measures and is currently on site mobilizing materials and machines to that effect, given the fact that the contractor has resumed since we paid the pending bills. It is envisaged, honorable members, that the completion will be by end of August due to the ongoing rains, April and May rains, which delayed the contractor to immediately resume work and hampered the progress of work. I submit. Thank you, Speaker.
Yes, Adagala, you are satisfied? If you are, you save time. We go to the next.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think most of the areas have been covered very well by the CS, and I wish just to still talk about the Kisigwa area. The place is delicate. There are seminal landslides, and even around Muzazi, there is also another landslide taking place. The road is also getting spoiled. And even if you come to past Jepsesi on your way to Amisi, that hill also needs to be taken care of. But I want to thank the CS for the good response. And even I was there over the weekend. The bridge is being constructed. The contractor is on the road, Mr. Speaker. Sir, thank you.
Remember, if the question is satisfied, why do you want to joyride? Go ahead and joyride. Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this joyriding opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I'm sure the minister, when he was preparing for this question, he looked around the area. That's Vihiga County, basically. And at the same time, when this road was came into construction. There are 3 other roads around the area, which I would wish he speaks about if he is able to. And nothing is happening to them. There's the Maseno Kombewa Road, there's the Chavakali Regi Road, there's the Luanda Epanga Mbale Road, and then there's the Sirulo Ekwanda, he knows them very well, and finally there's the Mago Museno Road. But specifically it's the one of Maseno Kombewa, which has remained an eye, so Honorable Speaker, that it was only made on the Luo side and then left. The other side of Western, nothing has been done for the last more than 15 years. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Yes.
There is no area in your neighborhood called Luo side.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I believe you mean Siaya side.
I mean Siaya side. Thank you.
Yes.
I don't want to destroy my question. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, yes, Zamzam.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi naweza kujoyride nimuulize waziri. Kuna barabara ambayo imekuwa tata sana ndani ya Mombasa, hata hawa wabunge wakija kwa kamati katika kamati zao wameona, yaitwa Links Road. Mheshimiwa Waziri, mikakati gani umeweka kuhakikisha kuwa ile Links Road imetengezwa? Manake hata pale pale kumetokea ajali, mwanamke mmoja na tuktuk akadungwa macho, hivi tunavyosema yuko hospitali hana jicho moja, kwa sababu ile barabara iko mbaya sana. Na kisha ile ya Mwakirunge toka mlivyoacha kujenga paka sasa haiendelezi. Tutataka kujua muna mikakati gani ya kumaliza pia ile ya kwenda Mwakirunge. Asante sana Mheshimiwa.
Minister.
Thank you again, Speaker. Let me specifically answer. I may not have the full information on all the roads, but particularly on Maseno, Kombewa, we have addressed that road and provided resources so that we can complete the link on the Vihiga side. And I don't have the details, but I do know we did provide for budgetary allocation in the current financial year. And the Maseno Kombewa on the Vihiga side will be constructed starting this financial year. Let me beg to basically meet the member and deal with the other specific roads, Milemba and the Luanda side in more details. As regarding the road, Links Road in Mombasa, I think this is the road that basically goes through Nyali, and we have a challenge of drainage after construction happened on both sides of the road, and it is a very low section, and when it rains, we don't have a channel to basically drain out the water. I was in Mombasa some 3-4 weeks ago, and I did pay attention meeting the governor for Mombasa, Abdul Swamad, and we discussed this. We are looking and working with the landowners within that section to see how to open a channel and be able to drain that low section, so that it's a challenge. It should have been within the county planning, but since that was not done, we'll work on remedial measures with Kura, with the county government, and correct that challenge within this high residential area in Nyali Road, Nyali Estate. I thank you.
Simon Kingara. Simon Kingara. Member for Ruiru. Is in the house. Question dropped. Mary Emase. I've been approached by the Honorable Oku Kaunya that he has got a holding brief for Mary Emase. Go ahead and ask the question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I will ask the question on behalf of Honorable Mary Emase of Teso South regarding a road. Honorable Speaker, because she is away and she asked me to ask on her behalf. But Honorable Speaker, also the road touches on both Teso North and Teso South. The question to the Minister, question number 15, 2025, by the member for Teso South, Honorable Mary Emase. First, indicate what the Busia, when the Busia Malaba Road, which is in dilapidated state, is expected to be maintained and upgraded to bitumen standards. Number 2, outline measures in place by the ministry to ensure that major highways, such as that Busia Malaba Road, is continually maintained. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Minister.
Thank you again, Speaker. Honorable members, the Busia Malaba Road was constructed to a double seal service dressing standard and open to traffic sometimes in 2021. And having been constructed using a stage construction contract, additional pavement layers were planned, but unfortunately, due to budgetary constraint, the additional layers have not been done. Kenya has since been carrying out maintenance activities, including performance-based maintenance contract between November 2021 and November 2023, routine maintenance contract between February 2024 and the same period in 2025, February 2025. Currently, the agency is procuring a routine maintenance contract for its maintenance for this financial year 25-26. In the strategic plan, honorable members, for the period 2023-27, the ministry through Kenya has committed to ensuring that more than 80% of the national paved roads, including Busia Malaba, are maintained in good condition to ensure the road network maintains its functionality and durability. And to achieve this, honorable members, the agency has programmed maintenance works annually for this road, given the significance of the road being part of within the northern transport corridor that services the landlocked countries that we service through the port of Mombasa. I submit, Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Ogu Kaunya, the first shot goes to the questioner.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the CS has tried to answer the question, though he did not explain those additional layers, when are they going to be implemented. And Mr. Speaker, I also wanted to tell the CS that actually that road has caused a number of accidents, that people have lost lives because of the big potholes on that road. So the maintenance of 2024 referred to in the response does not seem to match what is on the ground. And I would ask that a further verification by the minister, the CS, or your team could be able to give more details on what is actually happening on the ground. So there is that bit, Honorable Speaker, that is not reflected in the response. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Webuye West, Dan Wanyama. Yes,
Thank you.
Dan.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me joyride on this question and ask the CS on the Sikata, Nalondo, Bokoli, Kimilili Road. The contractor was on site up to Hachonge and it disappeared. Since then, the road from now Hachonge to Kimilili, it is totally impassable. If the CS can highlight on the situation, given that he was mentioning about paying the bending bills.
Yes, Martin Owino.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On the same note, I would like to ask the CS whether you have any standard measures which the contractors are using to maintain these roads. Because if you take, for example, a road from Katito, Homa Bay, and Rongo, some spots are dug even 6 inches deep. So the intention is good to repair them, but they are left for almost a week there. Cars, busting tires, accidents. So is there any standard measure that all these contractors should use where they intend to do good and cause harm to the motorists? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Taitumu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to ask the Minister whether he is aware, despite having signed the MOUs with the constructors, of the roads that I have stored, Kaelo, Kamukunji, Mutuati Road. The contractor is not yet on the road. I would like to know the measures that we are taking to make sure that that contractor is back on site to do what he is required to do on that particular road.
Oundo.
Speaker, thank you. I just wanted to add on the same issue of the roads, and this specifically the Busia-Kisumu road. Could the Cabinet Secretary tell us when they are going to do repairs? Because the potholes on that road is just a dead trap, and we are going to lose very many lives soon. Consider the trailers and everything. And of course, you could also tell the nation what plans do they have to congest the Busia border point because of the long line of trailers full of fuel. In the event of an accident, it's a catastrophe waiting to happen. Thank you.
Bowen, Waziri, take a few of those short ones.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would want to ask the Cabinet Secretary if he's aware of Chesoi, Tirap, and Embobut Road in Marakwet East, Mr. Speaker, whose contractor disappeared from the site almost 3 years ago, and up to now, they have not resumed. Mr. Speaker, number two, I would want...
A joyrider has no right to two questions. Yes, Millie?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The CS knows about the Mbita Sindo Road, which I ask all the time that he comes here. But today my question, Mr. Speaker, is regarding Rusinga Ring Road that is currently being tarmacked. And there are 3 contractors. How do you ensure that they maintain uniformity? Because you can see each of the contractors is coming. Some are doing very good work, including the offsides, I don't know what they are called, those arms. They're doing very good work, but others are just concentrating on the main. How do you ensure that that is done, Mr. Speaker? But I've mentioned Sindombita, which I always mention for him.
Yes. Murugara, then the Minister, you answer those.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the Cabinet Secretary is aware of the famous, it's now famous, Chakariga Marimanti Road. Commenced 11 years ago, stored for those 11 years, and recently, Honorable Speaker, the Cabinet Secretary promised that a contractor would be going on site immediately. It's about 4 months now, and there are no signs whatsoever that any contractor is coming back. The people of Tharaka would like to hear from you candidly, when is the contractor coming back to complete that road? Thank you.
Minister.
Thank you again, Speaker, for those supplementary questions. Let me start from Kaunga's question is regarding the standards basically used to maintain some of these roads on performance-based contract. And I think it was basically a comment to urge us to get down to the ground with our regional engineers and confirm that they do perform in line with the contract. And the point has been made. I'm here with my PS, Engineer Joseph Mbugwa, and we will basically get down to confirm and assure that the details and aspects of the contract are adhered to in the maintenance, because when we do a performance-based maintenance contract, we will specify the works program in the particular road, including what exactly must be done. So we should be able to supervise and make sure that the contract is performed accordingly. With respect to the Dan Wanyama's question, Webuye, Shikata, Kimilili, I think it is about the same standard measures that we employ to maintain these roads. But allow me, Speaker, to basically, because a lot of questions from...
No, his question was that the road was done halfway, the contractor left, you announced that contractors were going back to abandoned sites and he has seen none. I think that was your question.
That's correct, Speaker. And I was just going to say most of the question is regarding resumption of works by contractors. The question from Dan Wanyama, the question from Taitimu is regarding Kaelo, Kamkunji, and the question from, was that Oundo? That was congestion. But more importantly, Millie Odhiambo's question on Bito Sindo, and of course, Rusinga Ring Road. Let me, honorable members, allow me to basically, we've scheduled a meeting with the contractors on Tuesday. Bana PS will be addressing all the contractors who have since received 40% payment on pending bills. We are preparing to pay the second portion of 40% from the portion of 7 shillings we sold on that asset-based fundraising. And before we paid them, we did sign a settlement agreement, which among us, one of the conditions was resumption of work to qualify for the second tranche of payments. So we'll be receiving reports for when they resumed, how much work has been done, and so on and so forth. But granted, there can be, you see, when we paid in April, it was a rainy season, and it's been a bit difficult for a number of contractors to resume in some of the very wet areas. But we are on top of this to the extent that we have had liquidity to pay these contractors. We can now call the shots. The biggest challenge previously has been they abandoned work and just left us because we owed the money. But because we've paid them and we have the second tranche of payment to pay them, we will be receiving reports from all the contractors countersigned by our regional engineers on when do they resume, how much work have they done to be able to qualify for the second tranche of payments. So to the extent that we have the cash to pay them, we will then be more hard, we'll be calling the shots. But even having said that, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a lot of work has resumed across the country. The few contractors who may have tried to play smart, taken the payment and not gone to work, will be able to catch up with them because we are yet to pay the next 40% settlement on the pending bills. So let me assure members, where contractors have not fully resumed or where they've resumed and they are still servicing equipment, there's been no much work done on the ground, that we will be addressing those issues on a road-by-road basis when we meet them on Tuesday. And Speaker, I just chose to basically give a general answer because we've called all the contractors and we'll be doing that on Tuesday to the extent that we are now calling the shots because we are able to pay them. Previously, the biggest challenge, contractors abandoned work and just left us. So the challenge of those potholes and the non-motorable roads, we were just in a state of desperation because we were unable to get the contractors to work. The more specific one on Rusinga Ring Road with 3 contractors, the point has been made. We will basically assure ourselves with the contractors through the regional engineers that we do maintain the standards by the 3 contractors so that we have a seamless connectivity from the 3 contractors on this ring road in Rusinga. With respect to Chagarika Marimanti Road, again, like I said, Murugara, the contractors have been paid 40%, and we paid all of them 40%. So there will be no reason why one contractor or several contractors, 90% of the contractors have resumed work and they are working well. Why would one contractor be dragging is a case that is easy for us to be able to address. And therefore, when we meet these contractors on Tuesday, we'll single out some of these roads that honorable members have mentioned, including Chagarika Marimanti Road, which, in spite of the payment, the honorable member is basically giving us report. And we appreciate this report, members, because you are on the ground across the 290 constituencies, and you help us to basically give us the report like I've had. And therefore, I'll be using some of this to pin down some of these contractors ahead of processing the second payment. That includes Bowen's question on Chesoi, Tirop, and all the other questions regarding resumption. I think we're in a very good place today, honorable members, as regarding really taking a hard stand on contractors who had abandoned work, because as we speak today, we have paid them and we are ready to pay the second tranche to be able to push them to deliver on their contracts. Thank you, Speaker.
Minister, you say you'll meet the contractors on Tuesday.
Next week.
Members, just take your seat, because each one of you has a story to tell about contractors who left the scene have never come back. If he is meeting the contractors on Tuesday, all of you send your roads where the contractors have not resumed to my office. I do a composite letter for you to the minister, so that when he meets them on Tuesday, he is able to address each and every road that you have identified as stalled and no work resumed after 40% payment before the next 40% payment. Does that help us? Yes, Majority Leader?
Honorable Speaker, that guidance is good, and I think it will help members. But at a more general perspective, Honorable Speaker, and I hear what the CS is saying, he's speaking about contractors. But Honorable Speaker, it is my view or my opinion that the problem is not necessarily with just contractors, but also liturgy within the Ministry of Roads and Infrastructure, and especially the implementing agencies. I know the CS, you now have new leadership both at Kera and Kenha. And I must commend the actions that were taken in those two state departments, because there was overwhelming liturgy and almost sabotage of work on the roads sector, Honorable Speaker. And therefore wanted to hear from the CS, as much as you point fingers at contractors, these contractors are business people. They are there to make a profit, and they will have no loss if they are paid. They mobilize a bit of infrastructure on the ground without work being done, and wait for the next certificate, to issue the next certificate after doing a bit of work. But what will the CS do to ensure that the liturgy we have seen in the state departments for roads, especially the implementing agencies, Honorable Speaker, is also dealt with at the ministerial level? A policy direction on your acting director generals at Kenha, Kera, and the substantive Director General at Kura, to make sure that they are taking personal responsibility to ensure that work is ongoing. Because CS, it cannot be you and the PS supervising contractors. Yet you have Director Generals, you have regional managers, both for Kera and Kenha, and Kura, they are engineers. Honorable Speaker, I had a meeting with the CS earlier on other issues, and I was just pointing to him. This morning I came from my constituency to actually do the day-to-day supervision of works. For a small road, I think 500 meters being done by Kura, the officer who was sent there by the DG Kura had no idea where the road is. In fact, I left Kikuyu this morning, this lunch, Honorable Speaker, without having seen that officer, because he could not even trace where the road is. But that is a person who is charged with supervising that work, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, I want to hear what the CS has to say about liturgy within the State Department, because that is a fact that we cannot run away from. These members, Honorable Speaker, have a personal touch to these roads, because they involve their members, the members of the public that they represent. And they are the ones who take the flak. Therefore, CS, if you need help from members of parliament to supervise these engineers for you, please ask us to help you. We will help you to supervise these engineers, because some just don't do nothing on the ground. Mambo kwa ground, Honorable Speaker, as I say, need different, as they say. Therefore, I want to beg you that as much as you be convening contractors, the most critical people to convene are your state department officers, not to be lethargic with their work. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Jane Kiara, you had a point of order.
Yes, I had, Mr. Speaker, because we were made to believe that these officers resigned. Actually, they were not pushed out. This government is telling lies all the time.
Order, you are out of order. And irrelevant, to say the least. Yes, Sabina Chege.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine, I just want to echo what the leader of majority has said, and I want to request the CS, Mr. Speaker. We have the famous Mau Mau roads. Mr. Speaker, some of the roads, the way they were done, there are only small sections that are remaining so that you can connect and the road is finalized. But you find the engineers and the people responsible, they will start another road, and then the other road is so impassable, and only a small section is remaining. I want to give him an example of a road called Karinga, Kagondo, Kinyona in my Kigumo constituency. And just a small section, there is a road from Muonunga going all the way to Kinyona. But a very small section, Gituamba to the junction of Kinyona, very few kilometers, Mr. Speaker, they were left. And so the road is impassable, there is tarmac halfway, and then the other side there is tarmac, and somewhere in between, people cannot be able to access to proper transportation, especially now that it's raining. So, Mr. Speaker, I just want to encourage the CS and the PS. Let your officers be on the ground, let them advise you. Look at the low-lying fruits. If the money is not enough, look at the small sections that can be able to join and complete one road. It's better one road that is complete instead of several that are incomplete. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minister, those are largely comments.
Thank you, Speaker, and I'm encouraged. I'm very encouraged that the mood of the House is in line with how we would like the ministry to run. To a very good extent, we have removed the challenge of contractors giving us excuses of non-payments. And this is why we now zero in, and like I said, I'm encouraged to hear the mood of the House on ourselves as a ministry with the agencies. We did have a meeting with all the regional engineers for both Kera, Kena, and Kura on Friday last week, a day-long meeting to basically script what I'm hearing from the House with respect to performance. And you do know, honorable members, it is no secret that in the last survey of corruption index, my ministry was rated the most corrupt ministry, followed by the others who have been dealing with.
We have overtaken the police.
We have overtaken the police. So we talked to that. We need to address and get value for our money to ensure that we don't get a situation where we are building a kilometer of road for 3 times the price. And when you go to the ground, the 3 times price does not even deliver what is meant to be built for 1 kilometer. So we've addressed this, honorable members, and to a very good extent, we have got good workers within the ministry, within the agencies, and a few elements who do not quickly reform, like I've heard from the mood of the House. It means I will have an easy job in dealing with those few cases. With respect to, so thank you, Honorable Anthony Ichungwa, Majority Leader. We will work tirelessly to correct the situation. It is not going to be about the contractors giving us excuses as we speak. When we meet them on Tuesday, it will not be excuses. We'll be expecting a countersigned report between the contractor and the regional engineers, and the countersigned by the agency DGs on the status of every road that has been paid for and whether resumption has happened, if it has not happened, and to a very good extent, the few elements who do not quickly style up, we will be taking unprecedented corrective measures to ensure that these roads, and we do know how close roads is to members of this House, and this is why we have the kind of challenges we are having even with RMLF on, is RMLF working for us? And even as we talk about amending that section 6 of KRB Act, we do know you are very passionate about roads. and I want to assure you members I'm going to lead from the front. Regarding Mau Mau roads, I do agree. We had so many tribunaries in Mau Mau roads. We provided funding, and I want to assure this House through the question asked by Honorable Sabina Chege that we've paid attention, and I'll pay more attention to ensure that these commitments which have been made are delivered before we basically do other service roads along the main artery. So let me basically just end again by saying I'm encouraged by the mood of the House, and with the contractor payments having been made, like I've said, without the risk of repeating myself, we will work on the agency to make sure our staff do what they are employed to do. I thank you.
Phyllis Barto.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Could the Cabinet Secretary, one, explain why, despite the completion of their designs, construction on the Tachasis, Chebiemit, Ainet, Chebarus, and Riadha roads have not commenced? Two, outline the main causes of these delays and provide the current plans, milestones, and timelines for initiating and completing these critical road projects. Three, indicate what measures will be put in place to address the concerns of Moiben residents for whom these roads are vital to connectivity, economic growth, and overall regional development. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minister.
Thank you again, Speaker. Thank you, honorable members. I wish to confirm that to Professor that Tachasis, Chebiemit, you're pronouncing better than me, Speaker. Chebiemit and Riadha Road have been designed, as articulated by the honorable member, as part of the road sector proactive forward planning in preparation for construction to pitment standard. The 24-kilometer road, which traverses Wasingishu and Elgeyo Marakwet counties, is a critical link road whose upgrading to pitment standard has been delayed because of funding constraints. But I do remember this road has been really doing the circles to be able to do that linkage, and therefore we'll work on prioritizing to make sure that funding is made available soonest. As mentioned, honorable members, the construction of this Tachasis Chebiemit road has delayed, like I said, due to funding challenges. And I want to confirm that we'll work with the leadership from the area. Prof, I'll work with you very closely to prioritize its construction and make sure that funding is made available. The designs propose a phased approach to be able to mitigate the funding challenge, where we will seek to do the first phase with maybe even 5 kilometers and do the second phase. First phase, 5 kilometers, we are proposing to do Tachasis, that junction to Cap Gideon, the way it is pronounced out there. And the second portion, 19 kilometers from Cap Gideon to Karandile, Chebiemit, earmarked for a second phase. So the timelines for completion and milestones shall be determined, but I want to plead with the honorable member that we can sit down and basically, like I said, with the leadership and be able to agree on the timelines. The ministry, through the Rural Road Authority, KERA, routinely undertakes maintenance of this particular road, together with other roads in the constituency, as prioritized by the Constituency Roads Committee under the 10% link and 22% RMLF funding annually, which, like the majority leader said, we had a side meeting and we are expediting to unlock that challenge, so that even for this financial year, that fund is made available so that we can basically work with the Constituency Roads Committee to ensure that our roads are maintained. And this is in cognizance of the need for connectivity and contribution of roads to social economic growth and development. I submit, Speaker. Thank you.
Yes, because Phyllis, are you satisfied? You must have the first supplementary.
Mr. Speaker, I only heard about Tachasis Chebiemit, but he hasn't said anything about the two other roads, that's Ainet Chebarus and the Riada roads. The two are specifically in Eldoret, within Eldoret city. And Mr. Speaker, I would also wish to request that even if they are going to do the first up road of Tachasis Chebiemit, it will be better if they did from Tachasis to Karandili, and then the second phase starts from Karandili to Chebiemit, because Tachasis to Kapgideon will not be of any economic activity. Economic relevance, sorry.
Thank you. Bokose?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to thank the CS for that response. While we are in Uasin Gishu, there is a road, Tarbo, Tongareni, Papaton, all the way to Kisawai and Endebes, which His Excellency the President...
It doesn't pass Tongareni, it's Tarbo...
Tongareni constituency.
Yes.
Yes.
But if you want to be precise, it's Tarbo, Naitiri, Sihendu, Babaton,
Kisawai, Endebes.
Kisawai, Saboti, Endebes.
Yeah.
That is the
yes. I agree with you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
And you are aware that His Excellency, the President, has pronounced himself on several times on that road, even as early as last month when he announced that the work on that road is going to begin. And for us who come from that side, every day Wananchi are asking us, when is the work beginning? And I don't know whether we were made to be aware that it is divided into two lots, lot 1 and lot 2, so that lot 1 big.
Yes, Wamboka.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. First is to congratulate the Minister. He's one of the hard-working ministers. Minister, asante, but take care what Honorable Majority Leader say may spoil your soup. For me, it's about 22%, 10% RMLF. Honorable Minister, the roads were tendered, awarded, some roads are done. We have pending bills at the regional offices. Some regions have received some money. Some regions have received not any money. We are wondering, how are you going to break the gap of 35% and when, considering the roads, some are already done and some are being done, so that our contractors do not leave us with the pending bills and are not disenfranchised in any way. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, is just to commend how you are moving encyclopedia, your understanding of the Kenyan roads and the Kenyan ecosystem. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Bidu. Thank you for the compliment, Wamboka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, there is this road from Isiolo to Mandera, which has been pronounced very well by the President when even he was in that area. The one which starts Mandera coming all the way to Isiolo, or vice versa. That road had stopped. It has stopped because the first constituency which is affected is supposed to be my constituency, between Isiolo and Modogashi. That constructions have stopped for a reason which we don't know. There is this last year's budget, 2024-25, some money was slashed from the budget. And this year again, the same amount which was slashed last year was being returned back to be a pending bill. So the Chinese are just there in their houses. Nothing is going on. I would have wanted to know, through joyriding here from the minister, what exactly is happening, because all those projects which the President has mentioned seems to be starting from mine, it's not going to be on. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. When I see the road that His Excellency launched when he was a Vice President was it's not complete between Kapkoi and Soimini. And Mr. Speaker, the people on the ground have always said they'll do something about it. And nothing has been done. The road is even now impassable. 2, what are you doing about the damaging of the roads? Because the trucks will carry this material from West Pokot and spoil the same road that actually were made, and it's now even becoming impossible to use those roads between Kapkoi and Soimini. And I think we share the same road with the Bokose. It's about 12 kilometers. Chinese actually were supposed to complete that road. Up to now, I don't know what is happening.
Saidi Poster.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My story is a bit unique because I have a road in my constituency that is Boji Masalani Road. This road was done almost 10 years back. 75% of the road has been done. But in between, there's a portion of about 5.3 kilometers. It's an area that is flood-prone area, 5.3 kilometers. It has not been done up to today. In fact, the ministry abandoned that road. There is no contractor on the road. There is no budget. The budget has even been removed from the books. So I wanted to know from the minister what is happening. When are they completing that road?
Ambassador Sige.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to also say something about the CS's statement today. First of all, I want to thank him.
Order. You are out of order. You are joyriding on a question by asking a question, not making a statement.
Okay, Mr. Speaker. I wanted to say, I want to thank the minister for the good job he's doing in the ministry. And, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that the road from Tajasita and Sotik to Chebole is ongoing. But I want to ask a specific question about the road which is linking Sotik and Pureti through Cheborge, which has taken a very long time, Mr. Speaker. It's almost impossible. I raised this issue some times back in this House, but nothing is going on. The contractor is no longer there, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Speaker.
Minister, answer those.
Let me start, Honorable Speaker, with the question raised, the supplementary question raised by Phyllis Bartow on this particular road that we talked about. And like I said, the supplementary question was more of the comments that I did request, Professor, that we can work on the details on how to split the road, how to quickly fund this road. And I wish to beg that Mheshimiwa Bartow seeks to have a cup of tea and then we can, and the leadership of the area so that we can address the details of this particular road. Then the question from Dr. Bukose on this road, Turbo Naitiri, Shihendu, all the way to Entebes. And honorable members, we did provide for funding for this road. What we will be doing as soon as I know the warranties have been signed, the budget has been opened, and we are waiting for the National Treasury to finish loading the IFMI system. We have worked on a timeline which we have discussed with my agencies, with the PS. We have issued formal instructions to the agencies on a very clear timeline on when they should all be advertised, by when should they be evaluated, awarded, the 14 days tender notice to award, the performance guarantee to be issued, and when the roads should start. So let me request that allow us to get the loading of all these projects and programs into the IFMI system, and if they are done by next week, you will thereafter see in my government advertisement on all the roads with a very clear roadmap on all the roads in Kenya which are coming into the program to be able to address that. Jack Wabonga on Kwamboka on the 22%, 10% RMLF. We know we did tender for roads. There was then that 10.2% that was stopped by court. The ruling has since happened, and we did agree on the sharing formula. We have since released 35%, which has been basically dispersed. Equally, we did release our money to the county government. I want to assure this House that the balance for the roads that had been tendered is adequate to ensure that all the roads that were tendered through this RMLF by the membership of this House through the constituency programs on all the 22 and 10% will be fully funded. We have adequate funds for that. Let me stop there on that, Mr. Speaker. On the question of the roads in the Horn of Africa, the question from Bindu in Isiolo, Mandera, Kulamawe, all the way to Samantha, Wajir, Tabaj, and all the way to Ramu at the end of Mandera, and Mandera, of course. Let me confirm, honorable members, that when we came to this House with Supplementary 3, we were unable to onboard the payments of the certificates for what the certificate that had been issued to us because of the budget deficit. I think we wanted to maintain a budget deficit because of the program that will be going significantly to the market, and we didn't want to be seen to be funding our programs on borrowing beyond 4.5% budget deficit. So what did we do? We really begged that allow them to be paid as soon as the budget is approved. The budget has now been released. I did check yesterday with World Bank, or I did have a meeting yesterday with the World Bank, and we'll be making payments on all the sections of these roads where we have got pending bills, because these roads are fully funded either by World Bank, Africa Development Bank, or Arab Bank. With respect to that section in Modogashe Samata, which was an annuity program, in Ramu Mandera, we are working on conversion to do an EPC, and we have enough money on the annuity to be able, we have got annuity 3%. We have got enough funding to be able to convert that section of Modogashe Samata, Ramu Mandera, and be able to do it on an EPC. So Mheshimiwa, we are by this week, and we did actually encourage the contractors on this road. I did call them for a meeting some 4 weeks at the end of June, and told them not to down the tools because we could not pay them on last year's budget because we do not want the budget deficit to go. Paying them because the funding is ready, we have the money, it's not a cash flow issue, they are fully funded by World Bank, Africa Development Bank, and so on. And we will be getting the contractors back to work if they down their tools because we have the funding. Ferdinand Kapkoi, what are we doing on this particular road to ensure that we manage the axle load? That was a supplementary part of your question. I think the first part of the question was the completion of that road. And like I said, honorable members, the point that we've been able to raise money and pay contractors, we can now call the shots. So allow me, Ferdinand, through the speaker, to really call the contractor, and I'm sitting here with my PS, I'm sitting here with one of the DGs, Mangondo, the acting DG for Kera, to call this contractor and basically pay attention to that Kapkoi Road and also address that challenge of axle load on some of our roads, including providing signage on the weights that are allowed on every road, because we build the low volume seal roads. But because there wasn't adequate communication and we did not have weigh bridges to basically manage the weights on those roads, a lot of our roads have gone in a state of disrepair. But we are paying attention to that through ensuring that when we build the low volume seal roads, we should have that signage if we are not able to put technology to manage the weights on the various roads to enable us know what are the weights that can be bared by those roads. On Masalani Road, 75% complete with some 5.3 kilometers undone. Again, this is a case of abandonment of work. And like I said, when we owed this contractor so much money, so again, I'll pick it up with my PS and look at that 5.3 kilometers. If there is no budget, we'll make sure we scratch our heads and complete that small section so that there is continuity on that road. So allow us to also look at that Masalani Road and address that undone section. And we'll pay attention to that. Mheshimiwa, you can also, on a one-to-one, follow up with us. With respect to Sotik, Bureti, Cheborge Road, there is a contractor there who has been a bit of a problem. We have summoned that contractor to come and talk with us. It's called Q. And we have summoned him. We need to, this road has got funding even in this current financial year. And we are seeking to correct and do a reseal on this particular road, because whereas the work has not been finished, there's already a state of disrepair where work had been done. So we will pay attention to Sotik, Bureti, Cheborge, and I want to confirm that there is some budgetary allocation on this particular road. So Ambassador Mheshimiwa Sigei, we can also look at the details of this particular road at a more personal level. I thank you, Speaker.
Gonzrai. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg to ask question number 054. Could state the current condition of Kinango Mariakani Road, that is into bracket C107, and the impact of the recent rains on its deterioration, particularly the drift connecting the road. 2, explain the immediate measures the government is taking to prevent further deterioration of the road and restore its usability for motorists. 3, outline both short-term and long-term intervention, including any placed collaboration with other agencies to provide a lasting solution to repair and maintenance of the said road. 4, clarify whether there is a budgetary allocation for upgrading the road to bitumen standards in the year 2024-2025 financial year, and if so, what steps have been taken to upgrade the road and details of the costs allocated. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you again, Speaker. Thank you, Konsirai, for that question. Let me go straight to the fact that the status of that 42-kilometer Mariakani Kinango B91 road is currently in motorable condition. However, I acknowledge, Honorable Speaker, that the recent rains caused minor deterioration in the riding service quality characterized by corrugation and depression, and these are currently being addressed under the ongoing routine maintenance contract. And because of that ongoing routine maintenance contract, Mheshimiwa Konzirai, we will again, with my PS, pay attention and confirm that the routine maintenance contract do deliver on the concerns that you have raised. The road has 6 drifts, which are generally in good structural conditions and are passable at all times except when they are when the region experiences very high rainfall leading to high water levels on the drifts and rendering the structures unsafe for motorists and pedestrians to cross. 2 of the drifts have experienced some damage, like Mheshimiwa, you noted, downstream from the rains, and the failures are to be addressed by the routine maintenance contract that I've just mentioned, that we will pay attention and we will pick it up with the contractor with the current contract running. Those repairs include reinstallation of broken parts of the drift, installation of H markers posts, restoration of damaged road signs, and desilting of the water courses around the drifts. Honorable Speaker, members, the ministry through KENA is currently carrying out routine maintenance works on the road. The scope of works comprise of a number of major items, which include gabion installation in areas where additional protection is needed, installation of 2 lines of concrete piped cross culverts, cleaning of silt from the drifts, which I just mentioned, and cutting of meter drains, heavy grading with watering and compaction of the entire road, the entire 42 kilometers, spot graveling of accumulative of 5 kilometers. So those challenged areas will be re-gravelled, and concrete repairs to damaged sections of the drift and other concrete structures. And like I said, we will work with the PS to make sure that there is proper supervision so that we deliver for the time being on this gravel road before we put it on a pitment standard. The contract commenced on 19 September 2024, and I wish to state that the works have been completed. In the short term, the Kenya National Highways Authority, let me correct that. I'll confirm whether the works has been completed, because we need to really pay attention to that. In the short term, the Kenya National Highways Authority intends to progressively replace the drifts with concrete box culverts starting in the current financial year. In the long term, the permanent solution lies in upgrading the road to pitment standard. However, this will only be possible when resources become available, and I want us to work very closely with Mheshimiwa, because we currently working and advanced with Kwale Kinango pitment standard, which are stalled because of non-payment, and I think there is very good progress on this side of Kinango to Kwale. So we need to look at the other side from Kinango to Mariakani. I think we will work on the budgetary and basically complete that loop coming out of Mariakani on the other side, where we are also working on dualing to the whole entire corridor, and including what we are doing on that road, having paid the project affected persons and working on that Kwachomvu Bridge on the lower side as you approach Mombasa, that had been suspended for the last 6-7 years, and which will complete in the next 2 months. I thank you, Speaker.
Yes. Maungu? Oh, sorry, Maungu, hold. The questioner himself must have the first shot.
Mr. Speaker, while accepting actually what the minister has actually stated in this particular road and saluting him on the Kinango-Kwale road, I think, Mr. Speaker, if the minister can just pay a lot of attention on this Mariakani, or the Kinango-Mariakani road, because that is the only source of survival in Kinango, because of the fact that where we get our goods for life is Mariakani. So if that road is not passable, then we are actually in danger. So because of the rains that we had, I think it is now time that with the 2025-2026, if you could just actually act with speed to ensure that the concrete drifts and the scope of Maram can be increased, so that at least you can make this road more passable. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You, Konzrai, that's a positive statement. Minister, you don't need to worry about that. Maungu?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. First and foremost, allow me to appreciate the CS for work well done, especially ensuring that stall projects have resumed, especially in areas like Luanda. However, Mr. Speaker, allow me to bring to your attention that we have a lot of damage taking place on these low-volume roads across the constituencies because of overweight by shrewd business people who end up destroying these roads. I wish to find out what strategies the ministry, through KERA, has put in place to ensure that this critical infrastructure in the rural setup, Mr. Speaker, is observed, because Kenya has actually been able to put way bridges across to ensure that no overweight takes place. But we have a lot of damage taking place in the small roads, Mr. Speaker. So probably how he intends to secure the same will help us. Thank you.
Oyula.
Thank you, Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I want to raise an issue to the Minister. Is the Minister aware that the road from Ejinja, Bumala to Port Victoria is developing potholes? And if action is not taken immediately, they will become bigger and bigger and be more expensive in the future. Thank you.
Yes, Owen Bayer.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to raise the issue of the Kilifi-Ganze Road, the famous Bamba Road. For many years, Honorable Speaker, we have seen now the contractor is back on site. But the road has been destroyed by the ongoing rains, actually very severe. And the people cannot actually access Bamba because the road from Pwani University and even from Kwamwango is severely damaged because of the rains. I have requested that the contractor comes and grades the road as we wait for the tarmac. But there has been laxity on doing that. They're not interested in doing that. And I thought the contract bears some money for maintaining the road as they continue to put up the tarmac. Honorable Mr. Speaker, I would like the Minister to intervene to ensure that the people of Bamba actually have their way home, because they now sleep in Kilifi and overload Kilifi town because they can't go home. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Kashagwa? Or is it Kirima? To the member sitting next to Polo. Meli, yes, you look different. You normally sit here. You're looking like the member from Daragwa.
Yes. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I thank you for allowing me to also query. We have, Honorable Speaker, the issue of Muhoroni, Chemelil, Kisumu Road and the Spar Roads. I want to say that in that particular road, Honorable Speaker, the 3 or 4 spar roads that connect the main road and the contractors, that is the Stekol, the H-Young, especially at the roundabout, linking to Songo, all the way to Kapkitany, and the other one linking to Miwani, Chemursoi, and the others, have not started, and the work is moving very slowly. That road is very key in that region, owing to the several factories of sugarcane, and linking Kisumu and the other surrounding areas, which has actually one of the largest population growing areas in this country. So I wanted to know if, from the CS, what is doing to ensure that the spar roads move together with the construction of the main road, that is the Chemelil, Miwani, Chepswerta Road. Thank you, Kisumu. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Member from Muhoroni.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I am going to echo exactly what my friend, but with better elaboration. I want to ask the CS that in Muhoroni constituency, the only benefit we would get from roads was if this road initially called C34 was done. Now it is Kipsitet, Muhoroni. Kipsitet Muhoroni is in Sigowet constituency. Muhoroni to Chemelil is in Muhoroni constituency, but as you advance towards Miwani around Kibigori, Tinderet constituency comes in. After Miwani, then you go towards, after Miwani, you go towards Kibos, and that is still Moroni, and part of it is Kisumu East. And this is a very key road that if it was done, it would open up the area and benefit the local community. During Uhuru's time, every time after the handshake, the Luo community went to meet Uhuru, the priority number one of their request was this road. Since President Ruto took over and we started engaging him, priority request has been Moroni Mamboleo Road. And each time we have been assured at the highest level possible that the road is going to be done with the seriousness that it deserves. The road has some of the best contractors that you resource in this country or in Africa. Lot 1, there is China Bridge number 10, doing between Mamboleo.
You are making a speech.
No,
you are joyriding. Ask a question.
Thank you. And Young on lot 3 and whatever. And they have capacity. But when you ask them, they are telling you, we have not been paid. We have the capacity to mobilize and do it overnight, but we have not been paid. Go and push your leadership to pay us. When we come here, we're told they have been paid. We want the contractors, we want them to go back, and they are not coming back. I want something tangible. And if serious minister and DCS, I want you to come with the contractors on the stage and tell the people that they're now serious, they're going to take up this issue. Number 2, which is the last one.
Order.
The road came
Joyriders have only one question. Maclap, every joyrider has only one bite. Only one question. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask for the minister's intervention in the roads linking to Kerio Valley. Mr. Speaker, the road that begins from Barwesa to Kinyach is being used by Ainan contractors, which are doing Kinyach Kapswar and Kapsaraman Kinyach. So there is a section at Kuikui High School and another section at Chemindany, which are actually impossible, including me here, truly, Mr. Speaker. I can't reach home. If I went over the weekend, I asked the contractor on site that you are using heavy machinery, kindly come and sort out those sections so that the road becomes possible. He says, I don't have instructions, I don't have PQs for that road, but the minister here, knowing him very well, and he has good plans for that road, can actually be able to intervene so that the people of that area will be able to use that particular road. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, a non-contractor also has a section between Kasisit and Lake Baringo. That one is already under contract. But between Kasisit and Lake Baringo, last year, we had landslide, you are aware, Mr. Speaker.
Ask your question.
Yeah, so the non-contractors should be asked to move ahead where they have no to repair the road, because government cannot now allocate money and yet there is a contractor on site. Those two sections together with the access to Poi Secondary School, Mr. Speaker, if intervened, those are small sections and it requires only intervention of the minister and the existing contractor on the ground, and things will be sorted out as we move with other programs. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, you have a level-headed minister that has the capacity to put the ministry in order.
Dagoretti, North member. Jen Kihara, you are the next question. Why don't you restrain yourself to the next question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me also to thank the Minister, the CS, for really doing his best to bring back this ministry. But having said that, I would wish for him to intervene in Nairobi. And when I say Nairobi, I would appreciate, I know he has given now Kura 2 billion shillings that has gone to the county. But when you look at the maintenance of the roads they are about to do, most of them were also maintained last year. And the challenge we face in Nairobi is in the slum, Mr. Speaker. That today, when I look at all those roads, Kibra is out because there's no road of Kura there. You find TJ's constituency is out, Mathare is out. Dagoretti North, it's Lavington and Kilileshwa, but I'm not saying that it is important or not important. I'm just saying the roads in the slums where Kera now comes in, is there a way the minister will assist us so that the key roads, and especially the roads that the president spoke on, pronounced himself on it, and see how we can do those roads? because they are the most important roads. They are the roads that are impassable than even these roads that are about to be maintained again. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to help my brother, to join my brother Koyo and Julius Melly. When the said roads from Chemelil, Kipsitet, Muhoroni, Chemelil, all the way to Mamboleo were being packaged. There were spar roads that were packaged together so that we can open up the sugar belt. Now that we have a solution coming on the sugar subsector, can the minister confirm that he will direct the contractors to do the spar roads, one from Koru Junction to Gilimori, the other one from Muhoroni to Tamu all the way, and the other spar roads along that ecosystem. It will go a long way, Mr. Speaker, in supporting the sugarcane farmers as they go towards a better farming system. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minister.
Thank you again, Speaker, honorable members. Let me start with the question raised by Honorable Maungu on the low volume seal roads. And I want to confirm that, yes, we need to do something about the upgrade, the very welcome upgrade to do low volume seal road, because when we build a good foundation and do a low volume seal road, it really protects the substructures and gives us a better quality road in those low volume areas, because these are not in the main highways, the kind of Kena highways where we do experience heavy axle load vehicles. And therefore we are looking at employing various technologies which may not necessarily require physical weighbridge that is manned. You do know there are unmanned weighbridges, and therefore be able to maintain these assets, because what we did build on low volume seal roads moved our asset roads from some 2,500 kilometers to almost 8,000. To get them dilapidated very quickly would be unfortunate, and therefore we are working as a ministry to see how to employ technology, including even just signage, to be able to show that these roads would not be able to take, say, more than 12 tonner. And therefore, if we are doing the agricultural distributorship of fertilizer, it doesn't have to go into the whatever. It can basically offload and sub-distributors taken in smaller vehicles, smaller tonnage vehicles. So we are paying attention to that, and thank you for that concern. On the road that is basically Bumela, developing potholes, thank you for that. I think it's better a stitch in time saves 9, and what we have learned is if we do an early reseal, we are able to reseal a road at an average of 10 million Kenya shillings to 15 million Kenya shillings per kilometer, and therefore be able to preserve the road instead of waiting for the road to get totally dilapidated, and then we have to reconstruct at a cost of over 60 million per kilometer. So we will pay attention, Mheshimiwa Oyula, on that concerned road, and look at the potholes that are developing and what corrective measures we have to do immediately. On this Bamba Road, Mheshimiwa Owen Baya, I think we are very strong today with respect to having paid the contractors. And when we summon them, to the extent that we have not fully paid them, and we have a further tranche of cash money to pay them, they come running. So let me answer the question for Kilifi North, or this particular Kilifi Road, Bamba Road, together with Julius Melis and Koyo, and on this Mohoroni, Chemelil, and the Spar Roads, and it is basically picked up by Hillary, Kipkelion, to the extent that we have 3 contractors on this road. We have China Bridge number 10, we have Hechang, and we have Stekel. These are strong contractors. What I want to do in the advening days is to have a meeting with the leadership, with these contractors, and of course the team at the ministry, to be able to really understand the spur roads which are built into the contract, and whether they should build the main artery and come back and build the spur roads later, or they should do all of them as they move forward, so that we don't have the kind of case that Sabina Chega did mention earlier, where the members of parliament don't want the main artery to be built. They want the spur roads to be built ahead of the main road. But let's have this common meeting with these three contractors, Koyo, Julius Melly, and because it's again cross-cutting many constituencies. And so what I'll do, leaders, Honorable Speaker, is to get, and like I said, when we summon them, they come because we now we have the ability to pay them. And so I'll get a session sometimes next week, call the three contractors, call the leadership, and then we agree on the way forward on these Moroni, Mamboleo, all the Koru, Kilimori, and so on and so forth, spur roads on this particular sugar belt area. With respect to the question from, I think, Speaker, basically will deal with that together with the leaders, Meli, Koyo, and Hillary, and the other members in that belt of Moroni. The Joseph Makilap, the Kerio Valley, Barwesa, the roads that traverse your Baringo North from Barwesa, Kenyach, going all the way to Kapsawar in the Elgeyo Marakwet area and Kipsaraman. These roads have been factored in, Barwesa all the way, not just to Kenya, but to Koloa, is that to the north? And again, this road is funded. What we want to do, like I've just said of Moroni Mamboleo, let's get this contractor, Heinan, and sit down with him and agree on the work program, because we normally agree with contractors on motorability ahead of works. Because we don't build spur roads for users to use while the road is being constructed, we expect the contractors, and there's an agreement that the road should be motorable when construction is happening. So to the extent that there are these impassable sections, let's, Honorable House, call the relevant leadership in this particular case, Joseph Makilap, Baringo North, and the leadership possibly of the other side in Marakwet, in Elgeyo Marakwet, and address the work program, including, and more importantly, the motorability of the road ahead of works, so that we are not basically looking at when is the tarmac being finished, but the fact that we are able to use the road on a day-to-day basis. On the question from Honorable Elachi Dagoretti North, again, I thought we sat with Nairobi leadership before we gave the support to Nairobi County to basically improve the outlook of our city, and where we have made budgetary allocation of 2 billion, and therefore, Mheshimiwa Elachi I can again kind of convene a meeting together with the governor for Nairobi and the leadership for Nairobi to look at the priority of those roads, to the extent that this support we are giving to Nairobi County will be implemented through Kura. We are not implementing through the county government. We are basically, the implementing agent will be Kura. We can sit down together and look at whether the prioritization was properly done. I thank you, Speaker. Thank you.
Jane Kihara.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to ask this question. The CS, who have a lot of faith in, looks like we are going to go places. Mr. Speaker, there is a road.
Jen, ask the question.
There is a
Kura on the order paper. I've called you to ask question 057.
Sorry, I had asked you to let me ask about the road because my question is not about the road, Mr. Speaker. Please.
Reluctantly, take 1 minute.
Yeah, Kenongi Maraiwuchu Road It's a Kura road, about 7 kilometers. And it started in the last regime. Mr. Speaker, up to now, they have only done 2 kilometers. I have been asking even the agency before to come and check the encroachment, because there's a lot of encroachment. I wanted to ask the CS when he can do the remaining 5 kilometers. It is a Kura road. Kinogi Maraigushu.
Minister, you know the road?
I generally know this Kinungi Road, but allow me, now that the honorable member has basically raised on the floor of the House, to pay attention and get back to the member. If it is a case of stalling because of non-payment, that should be a non-issue today. But if it is stalling because of budgetary allocation for an ongoing project, then it is also really upon us to provide budget for ongoing roads, because it will be unfortunate that we are starting new roads when we are not funding ongoing roads. So either way, the ministry should take responsibility, and let me confirm that I will look at it. We will sit down with Mheshimiwa and look at, is it a budgetary allocation? Is it a bending bill? Both of them, which the ministry should be able to resolve and get the road to continue. I thank you.
Thank you. Joyriders are too many. Waluke, too many joyriders. One question each, because the remaining 2 questions are not on road, so I'll not allow anybody to ask anything.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Waziri, mine is about Chwele Sirisia Luahaha Road. It is a low volume road, but the traffic was transferred from Malaba to Luahaha. All the international, it's an international road, and all the trucks are now using that road from Burundi, Rwanda, Uganda, Southern Sudan. All the trucks are using it. And the road was low volume, and now the trucks has completely teared it out. And it is supposed to be upgraded. Honorable Speaker, within a very short time, Honorable Speaker, that road we've lost about almost 70 people that have died on that road because it is small in size. So, Waziri, Honorable Murkomen, your predecessor had promised that it was to be upgraded, but up to now we have not seen anything. And secondly, this road of Mayanja Bisunu Sirisia Road, the contractor did only 2.5 kilometers, and then he vanished from the road. He's not there. I don't know what steps have you taken, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Yes, CNN.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine is just first to appreciate the CS.
The CS has been appreciated enough. Just ask your questions.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I appreciate him because of the Kibwezi Kitui Mbondoni Road, which actually has resumed.
Yes.
My concern is the contractor has done a campsite, but the pace is too slow. Just put a little bit speed so that the work can start to ease the pressure from the public. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Nicole.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine is one, very brief, on Maseno Kombewa. The minister had answered on Vihiga side, but that road actually extends all the way to Kombewa, Kalandini.
The MP alleged that your side is done.
No, it isn't done. So the part from Akado, Nyendiwa to Kalandini is not done. So the road is hanging. So that is my question. But Mr. Speaker, I would also say that after the meeting on Tuesday, it would be nice if they agree on programs with timelines. If that is shared with us, then it can help us follow up on the work, on the progress of the work. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Zamzam.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi nataka nimuulize waziri, tunaangalia feri ambayo inasafirisha watu katikati ya Mombasa na Likoni, zile rams zinamwaga watu baharini. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Waziri, nilikuwa naomba kujua, kulikuwa na feri ambazo zilikuwa zitanunuliwa mpya ili wananchi wa Mombasa waweze kupata wepesi wa kusafiri. Lakini paka sasa hata ile feri ambayo iko MV Nyayo, ukipanda zile daraja zake unapata zile daraja zimeharibika, mtu anaweza kuanguka baharini. Unafanya mikakati gani kuhakikisha kuwa wananchi wa Mombasa wanaweza kupata usafiri ambao hauna utata, tukapata ile kisa kama cha Mtongo kilivyotokea, wala Mungu asijalie. Kwa hiyo naomba uweze kutujibu. Asante sana.
Daniel.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine is not more so on roads, though I have a lot of problems on roads, Kore Road and Mulingana Road, but my major question is on the issue of air transport. Mr. Speaker, I want the Waziri I want to know if the Waziri knows that we depend on...
Minister, you'll have just to make do with this mixed grill.
I want the Waziri to... Yes. I want to know if the Waziri is aware that we depend on Ethiopian Airways to ferry our miraa out of this country. But now, of late, they have denied us an opportunity to ferry miraa to Israel and Djibouti. And we are really stuck, considering the fact that Kenya Airways does not fly the two routes. So what is the ministry doing to assist our Meru traders and farmers from this problem of lacking a means of transport, whereas the Ethiopian Airways is flying there, but they are denying our traders an opportunity to use their flight? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question to the CS is, I wanted to ask the status of the two roads for Samburu, that is Mara Baragoi Road and the Kisima Wamba Road. That was advertised, and up to now, we have not seen anything moving. Secondly, there's also the Mubarak Mara Road, which I think was a low volume road, and now it has so many big potholes, and it's making the transport for the people living in Marara very difficult. And we had requested for recarpeting. I don't know what is the ministry doing to correct that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I seek intervention of the CS on the Turbo Bridge, which was given to the contractor over 2 years ago, and the work is very slow. The current bridge is a disaster in waiting. And secondly, the Turbo Beshabor Salient Road, which is a twin sister.
Which bridge are you talking about? That
Turbo Bridge.
On the highway?
Just off the highway, about half a kilometer off the highway.
Yes.
And it is a twin sister of Turbo, Naitiri Sihendu, Endebes Road. Okay. What is the status of the road from Turbo, Beshabor to Celia? Thank you.
Thank you, Kipepeo. Mama Kaundi Busia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. When I CS, I just want to know what happened to the road that starts from Mungati, Benga, Akobwait, Kwangamor, Kotur, and was to end in Kocholia. It's about 22.5 kilometers. The bridge was removed and the contractor seems not to be on the site. A distance that Ken cutters used to simply use less than 30 minutes. Now they have to go look for another route that takes 2 hours for them to reach a particular point. So kindly, because of the Ken in the region, that particular road is very paramount. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Oron.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My question to the CS about a 9.5-kilometer road named Tomboya Roads in Kisumu. Honorable Speaker, this road was awarded in 2021. Up to now, only a third has been paid. Only a third has been paid for, and the roads, 450 million has not been paid. The road is 60% complete. I would like to ask the CS what's happening from 2021 to date. These roads are dangerous to the residents because when it rains, water accumulates, and dangerous to the kids and the motorists. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. My question to the CS is about the road Matutu-Ekalakala Road, which the CS told me that the particular contractor is going to move to site, but he has never been to site. Thank you.
Rueda.
Nami niulize swali. Barabara yetu ambayo ndio itakuwa barabara ya kwanza, hatuna inchi hata moja ya barabara ya lami. Sasa hii tunapata. Jana ndio naona contractor amepeleka mashini port. Kwa vile imechelewa sana, naomba waziri ahakikishe hii barabara iko na pesa iko najua. Ianze pande zote, ianze Mtangawanda kwenda Siu na Siu nao ianze upande ule kuja hivi. Maana tumekaa kwa muda mrefu sana kungoja hii barabara. Maana ilikuwa tena shangaa leo nikikuuliza utanambia pengine labda amejua unakuja ndo akasongeza hizo mashine. Maana ulikuwa ukiniambia 1 week, 2 weeks itaanza. Lakini imechukua muda. Waziri, tafadhali contractor ambiwe aanze pande zote mbili. Watu wamengojea barabara kwa muda mrefu sana. Pia sisi Lamu East kuna sehemu watu wanaomba barabara. Sisi tuwaomba ifunguliwe. Karibu miaka 6 hakuna njia. Mfanye mpango wote, hata kama ni kuweka maram, kama ni kuweka nini, hindi tu Kiunga, uchumi wa Kiunga imefungwa kabisa, hakuna barabara kabisa. Na barabara hiyo ni security road na ndio international road inaenda tu Somalia. Watu wingi majeshi tumekosa hapo kwa sababu ya zile zinaitwa IDs, zinawekwa chini zinalepuka. Sasa ikitengenezwa hiyo barabara itatusaidia sana. Barabara sasa imefungwa, haipitiki, watu wanatupitia boti peke yake. Asante Bwana Speaker.
John Paul. Minister, those are short questions. You should be run through them very quickly. John Paul, give him the mic.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have only one question to
You are entitled to only one.
Yes, only one question.
Yes.
About compensation of a road which was completed in the year 2023. That is KJ, Auke, Makiri Road. The people who are supposed to benefit, their names were gazetted. Up to date, they have not benefited from the compensation. When are they likely to be compensated? Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Last on roads, Senior Sunguli. Nafungia.
Mr. Speaker,
the remaining 2 questions are not on roads, and I'll not allow anybody to ask anything on roads hereafter. Sunguli.
Mr. Speaker, I asked about a road which the minister knows very well about, the Kilgoris Soit Road through Shartuka. It was a low-volume seal road, or it is a low-volume seal road, which is speedily wearing out. I don't know what the minister is doing, whether the contractor is coming back to site, especially because now we have a factory there. People want to benefit from it, from taking cane, and it's becoming even more difficult to maintain the road unless you come to it quickly. And all the way to Chebole. And also just, I'm not allowed to ask another question, but I hope you read, Mr. Minister, in the newspapers, that the road from Lolgorian to Masai Mara was blocked by the residents, and the tourists could not go because there were 2 big pools of water that had developed there, and the road is impassable even by border borders. What is the minister doing about that?
Yes, because...
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, my question is on the Kitale Swam Road. It is 99% complete.
I thought it's complete.
No, it's 99% complete. But we have people who are supposed to have been compensated. They have not been compensated up to today. And you remember Honorable Kale Pamise asked about the people of Matisi, and we also have people in Endebess, especially in Sokomuchinga and along that area where these people have not been compensated all that time. So whom do they, because they have approached National Land Commission, they are always going to the DCC's office. Even today they called me. They are going to the DCC's office. So how are they going to be compensated? Because I think they'll just be left stranded if nothing has happened.
Members, bear with me. This is the cutoff on roads. Minister, Ivo Bara, I won't give you. You've just walked in. You've just walked in. I'm not giving you. Ivan Farah, you've just come in. Yes. Minister, answer those. That is a cutoff point on roads. I'm sorry, Farah, you'll ask next time.
Allow me, Honorable.
Many questions about the north have been asked. The Kulamawe Road has been mentioned, all those. I've been here, unless you are not here. Go on, Minister.
Thank you, Speaker. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, allow me not to just basically individualize every question, but to basically say, Honorable Speaker, where there is a contractor on the road who had abandoned work due to non-payment, and because we have paid every contractor at least 40%, and we are paying the next 40% in due course, and that due course is in the next 2-3 weeks. And that's why we are having this Tuesday meeting to review, because we are in a very good place, we are in a very strong position to basically ensure that they did comply with the settlement agreement, which was a bargain to sell our part of our RMLF and pay them. And on account of discounting our RMLF on a net present value, we asked them equally to discount 35%. We pay them 40%. We are paying 40% in due course. And therefore, for the road that Waluke spoke to, and where there is a contractor, I want to confirm that on all those roads, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I will be happy to have a meeting with the contractor, with my team, and with the members of parliament for the particular area to address resumption of work. If they have not resumed work, why should we be prioritizing the next 40%? So we are in a very strong place to address that. So, but particularly for Malava, because of the border and this Chwele Road, honorable members, you do know that we pride being an anchor state because of the port of Mombasa and servicing Uganda, Rwanda, all the way to DRC. And therefore, the roads around the border, and there's a question that was asked earlier regarding what are we doing around Malava to open that congestion and make that area expedite movement of lorries so that the border control is not exacerbated with the challenge of roads. And therefore, we will pay attention. We do a lot of trade as a country on account of transiting goods for these particular countries and as an anchor state. And therefore, even if we are efficient in Mombasa and we are not efficient in the entire northern corridor, including the border, which do also seeks to answer the question of Bokose on this swamp, on the, what do you call, Kitale swamp. We really are going to work quickly to make sure that we clean these border point roads, including the building, which is currently unfinished. That is why we are 99%. We'll work closely with KRA to finish the buildings, and even as the leadership of our neighboring country will be coming into the country, the Kitale Swamp Road is of concern, and we need to finish that 1% outstanding. But having said that, with respect to Waluke's question, we will pay attention to that boundary area to make sure that the artery is clean. We are able, even when you have to go through the Chwele.
Do you ask about compensation?
And I'm going to answer that. I'll answer that. And then maybe I can just deal with it because I've then dealt with Kitale Swamp and deal equally with the other PAP, project affected person on the road where John Paul did raise. In the selling asset securitized kind of asset that we sold, we made provision for all the project affected person. And that is why even on the road of, which was asked by, on Kibwesi, Mutomo, we are compensating all those project affected persons to the tune of 1.5 billion. We have released the money to National Land Commission, and the process of payment is just a bit slow because of the compensation process of ensuring that we are compensating the right person. So that money has been made available. The project affected persons we have taken care of, John Paul, Kibwesi, Mutomo, and equally in Kitale Swamp, and we'll ensure that we are working very closely with National Land Commission. In fact, as a matter of fact, we've held many meetings. We've released 14 billion to National Land Commission. As we speak today, they have only paid out 3.5 billion, maybe close to 4 billion now, and they are sitting on some 10 billion because of the reconciliation of records. And equally, we are working with the Ministry of Lands to make sure we streamline the records and release that money to the project affected persons. With respect to, like I said, contractors who have not resumed work, that should not be an issue today where they are contractors. We can deal with these contractors on a one-to-one basis. Currently, they are very cooperative to us. If they are not cooperative to cooperating with the members of parliament, I can chair joint meetings and basically zoom in and address the various challenges. With respect to Maseno-Kombewa Road, that was asked by Nikal, I think we've provided for funding for that section of the road to be able to finish so that we do not have to ask a question pertaining to the fact that the Vihiga side is done, why don't we do this other side, or the other side is done. And then we got even executive directions to be able to complete both sides of the road. Some regarding the ferry. We've just paid for the ferry in the last 2 weeks. Construction has started. We're very concerned about the challenge on how we basically move our people across the Likoni ferry. When you see some of the videos doing the rounds in the way people move in, even for the time being, in my last visit to Mombasa, this was an agenda with the governor for Mombasa to see whether we can have a system for crowd management as people board. But equally, that road that we build between Mombasa and Kwale through Kibundani to service the special economic zone area is basically ready, and we are looking at opening it shortly, and that will release a lot of the traffic that can then ease the congestion in the ferry. But the other ferry that we did sign off has been paid for and construction started. So, in fact, I got an update. We were with Captain Ruta late into the evening yesterday in a separate meeting. Air travel, I've got a more substantive statement because that has been of concern, and allow me, Speaker, to basically look at the statement on how we are going to assist our Mira farmers to make sure that the products are getting to the market in Israel, Djibouti, and other markets. Ethiopia Airlines operate international scheduled air service into Kenya purely under provisions of the existing BASA bilateral air service agreement signed between the government of Kenya and Ethiopia. The existing agreement, Honorable Speaker, members, provides for carriage of both passengers and cargo under scheduled regime. The agreement has no restriction as to what type of cargo to be carried for as long as the airline is approximately certificated by a competent authority to uplift the cargo under standards set by the International Civil Aviation Organization, a standard setter in the global aviation industry. Obligations of the state signatory to such agreements is that the state should not interfere with the conduct of business by airlines designated to operate under such agreements, And therefore, the ban by Ethiopia Airlines on carriage of Mira from Kenya is an internal airline decision that has no roots to the existing bilateral air service agreement between Kenya and Ethiopia. But because I was aware of this, that's why I made a brief statement, because I knew it might come up. I'll be seeking to basically do a bilateral with the Ethiopia Airlines to basically seek to intervene, because this is really impacting on the economy of this sector, and therefore we need to provide an urgent solution, because these are perishable products and they do not have that long-range kind of post-harvest time, and we need to resolve that. So I'll pay attention to that, Mheshimiwa, and address that very quickly. Let me then turn on to Samburu. Samburu, that was Le Kuris. Honorable Speaker, like one road in Chepsonoi, Tarbo to Kakamega had a challenge with the contractors pricing. The Wamba, Maralal, Baragoi road had that challenge. We did provide for some tarmacking out of Maralal into Wamba. We did provide also for tarmacking from Maralal towards Baragoi. And Mheshimiwa Legarus, we've had meetings with the leadership of the area, and we did retender for these roads. We've just closed. The bids have just come in, because we lost so much time between the time when this funding was approved and the tender, which has not worked. We will very quickly award the best contractor for those roads, basically to do the tarmac on those two sections and upgrading the graveling all the way to Baragoi on the other side to ensure that road is motorable. And we are working on that. The tenders just came in, and the relevant, I think it's under Kenya. Kenya is working around the clock to make sure that we do get the contractors to site. And those roads are funded through that affirmative funding that we got earlier last year, and equally they are funded in the current financial year. So we should be able to start work. On the Turbo Bridge, Mheshimiwa Shitenei, there's a lot of work going on there, and to the extent that we have funding on that road, I don't think we should exclude the bridge. I don't have the details with me here, but allow me to pay attention to that and make sure that this Turbo Bridge is not in the state that you did describe. For Busia, Catherine, Mheshimiwa, that 22.5 kilometer road, and you did talk to the bridge, that needs to be addressed. Allow me also to pay attention to that. I'm here with my PS. I don't have an immediate answer, but I should be able to look at that. And Bana PS, let's get back to Catherine Omayo on that. With respect to the Tomboya Road in Kisumu, Mheshimiwa Quorum, 9.5 kilometers. Again, this is a question of a road with a contractor, and there's absolutely no reason why there's a reason why the road took that long, because we didn't pay the bills. But to the extent that we are talking about Kisumu City, we are talking about a road with a contract, it will be really unreasonable for us. It will be responsible, not even unreasonable, not to provide funding. And I want to confirm what kind of funding has been provided for this road. If it was due to pending bills, and because pending bills is not a challenge, we'll follow up and make sure the contractor gets back to work and clean the outstanding portion of the 9.5 kilometer road. I don't remember what Bashir's asked, but let me answer Waida's question regarding Mtakawanda, Kisingitini, but that road is initially Mtakawanda, Siu. The contractor has gone to site. I did call them to my office. The young man, the son, came by Yusuf, and we did give them some ultimatums. The biggest challenge, Speaker, here has been contractors here put their efforts together to hire a barge to carry the heavy equipment. If the heavy equipment has landed in the island, it shouldn't now be a problem because, again, Honorable Speaker, Mheshimiwa, you know this road is funded through that affirmative funding that we got early last year or late last year. We have provided adequate funding to make sure the road moves without stoppage. And the last one was on John Paul's concern on the PUFs, which I've talked to. That funding is available, and we are working with National Land Commission to make sure that they accelerate the payment, because it's a situation today, honorable members, that National Land Commission is not looking for money. We are pushing them to pay because, like I said, they are sitting on 10 billion amount of resource, which is within their accounts, and they are working on reconciliation to pay that money to the project-affected person on the various portions of those roads, including Tuapa to Kilifi, this side of Kwachomvu to Mariakani, including the road, James Kishuro, all the way to the road linking to going towards Nakuru with China Wui. For Mheshimiwa Sunkuli's question, Kilgoris Shartuka, this road getting out of Chebole, the clay section of that, going all the way through Chebunya to Mwadigir, we have provided funding to reconstruct that road, and we are going to start in this financial year. The Chebole side, all the way to Tarajasita, we are doing a reseal, which Mheshimiwa Ambassador Sigei did say there is work in progress, and I think the repair and resealing of that road will be completed in the next 3 weeks. Bukose, on the SWAM, I did talk to BAPS and the 99%, the 1% which is more of the building and
that you have answered.
Works to do with KRA, we are working with KRA to complete that. I thank you, Speaker.
Ivo Bara, I'll give you Ivo Bara, then let's close with Farah.
Thank you.
Joyride, quickly.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My question is on the feeder road on the Ahero-Kisii highway. This road was, the highway was completed and very well done. But there were all these feeder roads that were leading to public institutions that were supposed to be tarmacked. Most of them are below the 2 kilometers. The length is below 2 kilometers. Up to date, nothing has happened, despite the fact that we have written several letters requesting for the roads to be done. Short distance, less than 2 kilometers, and all of them leading to public institutions, high schools, hospitals, and also the DCC office, and also the police station. Can these roads please be completed? Thank you.
Thank you. Farah.
Mr. Speaker.
I'll correct, it's not true that nobody had asked any question about northeastern roads. The minister answered questions on the Kulamawe road.
Okay. Yeah. That's not northeastern, by the way. Kulamawe is in upper eastern.
Yes.
Northeastern is Garissa with Mandera.
Go ahead.
Okay. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Minister, directive was given for the design work to be completed for Madogo, Garissa, Dadaab, Liboi, Harhar Road, and His Excellency expected this to be completed before the budget was read, the last budget of June this year. There seems to be some delay in that, and you tell us when that can be ready so that the funding can also be sought from the World Bank or other donors for that section. The same section, Mr. Minister, because it supplies, or rather it's used for supplying the refugees, 450,000 refugees in Dadaab. That road is now completely impassable. It's a nightmare to drive through Garissa to Dadaab. What emergency measures have you put in place or wish to put in place, at least to make that bit
passable so that it can be motorable for the time being while waiting for the tarmac to be fixed. Sometimes later, much later, of course. Thank you.
Tobiego.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine, I'll just ask about the Danger Chemuswa Road. The last time the minister was here, he said he promised that something would go on. What is happening right now, there's a bit of work going on, but it is also causing a lot of problems because the contractor who is there right now is not giving alternative routes when he's blocking the road, especially when they're making the bridges. And there is a bridge, Karlel Segut, that is in Kosrai Ward, which had been awarded to a contractor by Kura. The other day, even somebody passed on in that bridge. I would just like to know the status. The contract has been given a long time ago, but it has not taken off. Thank you.
Respond to those three, Farah, Eva, and
let me start with Eva Obara on these Ahero Kisi spar roads that link up to public institutions and they are of short distance. Mheshimiwa Obara, allow me to confirm if they were in the contract, then there is absolutely no reason why they should not be done. And I will personally get back to Mheshimiwa Obara to confirm those spar roads linking up to these public institutions, because sometimes it is the very reason why we build a road to service public institutions. And if they were included in the contract, and to the extent that we found so many things that contractors, even at 98-99%, abandoned work, and it was on the signature that it seems to be complete, but sometimes it was due to non-payment. But to an extent that they were in the contract, I will pick them up and we will make sure that those roads are done. Yes, Mheshimiwa Farah, we did give instructions for the design of this road, starting from Madogo, going through all the way through Garissa. And let me also confirm whether it has been completed. I didn't get the details before I came here. But to the extent that they have been completed, and because we were seeking for donor funding to, like World Bank, to build this road, the donor funding, we can bring it into budget anytime because it doesn't impact on the cash flow, as it were. Equally, for Garissa Dadaab, because of the need to service the camps out there, the IDP, to the extent that we need to service Dadaab, we need to make that road motorable because of the refugees out there. So again, PS, let's pay attention to that. Biegon, on Danger Mheshimiwa, on Danger Chemuswa, we have a contractor. If it's a case of being slow, needs to address the crossings, the bridges. The challenge we only have on this road is sometimes we are on Danger Chemuswa and we get instruction that we should start from the other side. But we have a strong contractor on that road. We don't know why it is slow, but again, the concern has been picked. We will talk to the contractor and even see whether we can have two gangs so that one is on this side and the other one is on the other side, because it's a long road. And there's concern by either party that why isn't it coming out from the other side, whereas it is going. But to the extent of it is slow, and because, like I said, bending bills for now is not a challenge, we will pick up that and address the speed of construction on this road. I thank you, Speaker.
Honorable members, Honorable Simon Kingara came in late, but he has explained why he was late, and I'm satisfied. I want to give him a second chance. So I rescind the order to drop question 14 and allow Honorable Simon Kingara to ask the question. Go ahead, Simon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I apologize to the House for coming late.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your kindness. I apologize. I have explained to the Speaker, and it is on his record why I was late. It was not deliberate. I respect this House. Mr. Speaker, allow me to proceed to question number 14 of 2020-2025, directed to the Cabinet Secretary for Roads and Transport. Could the Cabinet Secretary, Mr. Speaker, explain why the new generation smart driving license does not indicate the date when the holder first obtained it? Mr. Speaker, number 2, could the Cabinet Secretary also consider integrating the original date of license issuance into the smart driving license, particularly for individuals upgrading from older version to support Kenyan drivers abroad who rely on this information to verify their driving experience? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you again, Honorable Speaker. The new generation smart driving license, which was introduced as part of Kenya's broader commitment to modernize its road transport system, enhancing road safety and aligning with regional and international standards. The license incorporates advanced security features and integrates with the National Transport and Safety Authority NTSA digital platform, ensuring real-time access to drivers' data and compliance history. Notably, Kenya has adopted the regulation of the Tripartite Transport and Transit Facilitation Program, an initiative launched by the regional economic communities in the 3 regions, COMESA, East Africa Community, and the SADC, South Africa Development Community. The primary objective of this was to harmonize cross-border transport policies, including standardization of driver's licensing categories and practices across member states. This facilitates seamless and safer movement of drivers and goods across borders within the region. In line with this protocol, the Tripartite Transport Transit Facilitation Program standards, the current design of Kenya's smart driving license, like has been brought out by Kingara, does not include the date when the holder first obtained the license, as this information is not a prerequisite requirement under the harmonized regional framework. However, given the concern of our Kenyans out there, it is important to emphasize that while the physical card does not display this date, the full driving history of every license holder, including the original issuance date, is securely stored within NTSA Integrated Road Safety Management System. This information is readily accessible to authorized institutions such as the law enforcement agencies and regulatory bodies for verification, enforcement, and administrative purposes. The Ministry, Speaker, through NTSA continues to review stakeholders' feedback and any necessary enhancement to the system, including potential adjustments. Now, not basically potential, but we are working on accommodating the date of first issuance in the data structure within the digital digital data structure, and therefore that will be done in due course.